her crown, busting sassy folks she's found. Ears perk up a bourbon sight, with a smile she takes the fight. Buns and balls won't break her stride, sharing heart she won't hide. Hot to justice, heart so pure, in cases that's for sure. What's the sussy with a wink, till the comics bad guy sink. Salons and switching screens, the virtual world, no in-betweens. Sharing touch and iron will, bad guy shiver at her thrill. With a crew she's never alone, virtual paws break every stone. Hot bands give justice call, feel her spirit stand so tall. Hot to justice, heart so pure, in cases that's for sure. What's the sussy with a wink, tell the comics bad guy sink. Switching screens, the virtual world, no in-betweens. Hearing touch and iron will, bad guy shiver at her thrill. With her crew she's never alone, virtual paws break every stone. Hot fans get justice call, feel her spirit stand so tall. Hot to justice, heart so pure, in cases that's for sure. What's the sussy with a wink, till the comics bad guy sink. To justice, heart so pure, cracking cases, that's for sure. Got the sussy with a wink, till the comics bad guy sink. Till the body shines so bright, clumsy hot flood holds her crown, busting sassy folks she's found. Ears perk up a bourbon sight, with a smile she takes the fight. Buns and balls won't break her stride, sharing heart she won't hide. Hot to justice, heart so pure, in cases that's for sure. What's the sussy with a wink, till the comics bad guy sink. Salons and switching screens, the virtual world, no in-betweens. Sharing touch and iron will, bad guy shiver at her thrill. With a crew she's never alone, virtual paws break every stone. Hot bands give justice call, feel her spirit stand so tall. Hot to justice, heart so pure, in cases that's for sure. What's the sussy with a wink, tell the comics bad guy sink. Switching screens, the virtual world, no in-betweens. Hearing touch and iron will, bad guy shiver at her thrill. With her crew she's never alone, virtual paws break every stone. Hot fans get justice call, feel her spirit stand so tall. Hot to justice, heart so pure, in cases that's for sure. What's the sussy with a wink, till the comics bad guy sink. To justice, heart so pure, cracking cases, that's for sure. Got the sussy with a wink, till the comics bad guy sink.
SJMCC13 just subscribed. Upgrading their cell. Good evening to out favorite Bogan Bunny.
Mother trucker. Every time I forget to check, it's always muted. Yeah. Oh, mother trucker. Hey SJ, welcome in. You know what? One thing I dislike about sub alerts is it reminds me how much of my life I've waited. It's like, holy shit, it's been 16 months. I thought we met like yesterday, man. I remember it like yesterday. My day it wasn't even that long ago. I feel like it's gaslighting me. And it's Monday, so we're doing a news day. So we're talking about topics. So we're gonna have less filtered. I will try my best not to argue with everyone. But and funny scene yesterday, I was like, shut up about the wokes. When today is like literally when we can talk about whatever because it's a news day. So I kind of let you know, we can talk about more things on a news day because you know it's just gonna happen. You know, I like to go a little softer on those rules because it's just gonna happen. 1 year, 3 months. Damn, son. Damn. Like yesterday. When I was a wee bean, I think it was like, I thought it was around my debut for the 2D model, but I think that was not, well, in March, February, March, it'll be a year since the 2D debut, which I will do something, but I'm not sure what, because the 3D model won't be done until, so I know I need ideas. So what do we do, bro? I don't know. I have to think of something. What do we do? Because new model won't be until my birthday in June. So it's like fix the scuff, Del. How? Don't ask the impossible. It's like, Del, just fix the scuff so not everything's broken. Excuse me. Some of us like living in the squalor of our VTuber setup. Oh my god. Okay, thank you Fortnite for the follow. Welcome to the link. It's nice to see you guys too. And we're talking about drama. Let me know if there's any background sound. I'll turn off the fan and stuff. It's not too cold. It's hot for the aircon because it's overcast, but it's like humidly stagnant just a little bit. You know what I mean? Is the YouTube chat not working? I might turn it off today, or just no one's come in yet. YouTube. No one's chatting YouTube yet. We'll wait and see if it actually does, because it always takes a while. When you did the video about, was it, I hate Guna targeting Alana, if it helps. Oh, was it the video I did about, like, wait, no, that was Kitsune Nero, where she had some dude harassing her. You know, you carry so many stories and you forget. But because I've done quite a few where like there's just weirdos. So, now to go through the video logs, so to jog my old person memory. Oh, my brain. Our favorite police bunny, who's so much better than Judy Hopps. Nah, I'm as good. Judy Hopps is awesome. Thank you, Ember. It's working. Okay, thank you, homie. I appreciate that. It's like, I guess the pressure's on. I can't believe she called out the lurkers like this. I'm reporting this to the police. Wait a minute. She is the police. Oh, no. But I have a few stories today we're going to catch up on. I'm hoping I can make some videos out of it, because I'm trying to kick my ass into gear with these news videos. I've been like ignoring the news channel really bad, even though I'm interested in the stories. I just haven't gotten there yet. Hey Lucas, Husband is a loser. I'm sorry, but I generally don't like the guy. That's the thing. I used to like his fun content, his funny stuff, and just like a little bit of like things. But lately, his opinions are like really crazy. You know, like there's one thing like, I didn't mind some of his light opinions or some of his dude bro opinions. Like, sure, yeah, whatever. He's kind of funny. I didn't care about the other stuff. Yeah, his like I'm living squalor meme life was funny, like as from an entertainment point of view. And I was like, okay, cool, chill. I don't mind it. All that stuff. I didn't go out of my way to watch his content, but I enjoyed it. But like, I feel like his content has gotten more about real life news, and I'm just like, I ain't about that life. I'm sorry. It's like, and his opinions are just like, it's like, bro, are you dumb? Like sometimes. Hey, welcome in, Rensoon. Hey, Revan Jerist, welcome in. Hey, Fluffies, how you going?
Divas
Hey,
Magus just subscribed. Upgrading their cell. Is that the #1 Australian disabled Twitch streamer Police Bunny VTuber? Very exclusive category.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, would I even be #1 in that niche category? I'm sure there has to be maybe the police, because there's not actually that many police VTubers, because I didn't realize how many people hate the police. Like, in Australia, we're very neutral. As long as you do your job right, we're fine with the police. But apparently in America, like, there's a lot of hate towards the police. But I think it's because, like, in the last 10 years that America has had a lot of problem with them. Right? It's like, but in Australia, not so much. I had no idea. People's just like, oh my god, you must support the government. Because you're a police officer. It's like, what? I never even thought about that, man. I had like a very two brain cell approach. Me like poo poo, pew pew pew. I like blue, pew pew. I like police and anime. Nice. That's like it. Then there is no hope. Has been building for decades. True. I feel like there's a lot of like discontent in America that's just seeping out everywhere. Time read. Yeah, I did it, baby. I did it. A pipe train, let's go. Okay, hype train has started.
Mixie Pizza just subscribed. Upgrading their cell.
Let's go. I don't know why we got 3 alerts for it, but we did. Thank you so, Mixie. Divas, everyone, for the resubs. I appreciate it. I'm gonna try and find before I lose it, because I was gonna put up the stream avatar stuff because we're just talking today and yeeting and
SJMCC 13 cheered X500 treasure choo choo.
Treasure choo 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 choo. Thanks so much for the 500 bits, SJ. I really appreciate it, homie. Choo choo choo. Where the choo choo train didn't break my face for once. A miracle. Okay, it should be above groups. I can't think. Yes, I found it. One day I'll learn how to fix this. You know how everyone's names there? That's been like that for like 2 years, and I have not found how to move their names down. I need to find a tutorial for it because I'm so stupid. Yeah, everyone's leaving off the police because someone worse came into the chat. But yeah, and though I call this news, drama, whatever, chatting, I do think of it more as commentary. PCA, I am not a news tuber. I do say put tag news sometimes, whatever, because it's in the news, but I am not a news reporter. I know a lot of people say that, and I remember an article where someone dubbed me a news VTuber, but no, I'm not really a news VTuber. I like to discuss these things, and it's okay if you do think of me as one, but I don't, I don't know. I'm not a journalist, you know what I mean? So I don't have that same standard of care, and this is just a PCA out there to take everything we're talking about as a discussion with a grain of salt and all that fun stuff. Because this is really about a back and forwards between us and like learning things together. That's how I like to think of it. But yeah, even though, funny enough, though it's commentary, I try not to give too much of my opinion. Like, I will say my opinion, but I will always say this is my opinion. I'm not 100% on that because I don't want to influence you guys with my opinion. That's a big thing for me. I really don't want to like over influence you with my side alone. So we'll try and explore things from multiple angles if we can, because I don't want to like, I'm not here to gaslight gatekeep, okay? We're not about that gaslight gatekeep girl boss kind of thing. But thanks so much, guys. Oh, thanks for the follow, Robert. I hope we have a good time going over all this stuff. I've saved a few stories. Some are funny, some are what the hell is happening. However, the only police person I care about is Erundel. She's a fun VTuber. Chill police. That's what I love. And I think that's why our police aren't too bad in Australia, because Australia is pretty chill in general. Like, when I was out west, and this is a funny story, I saw the police come up and question a drug addict, and they're like, "Hey, buddy," it's like, "Hey, Bob, I haven't seen you around in ages." They're just chilly talking to them, like it's like, "Yeah, I know you do drugs." Like, it's like, "I've arrested you a few times, but how you doing, buddy? You doing okay? You keeping out of trouble? I needed to ask you about like a fire that happened. Is everything okay?" You know, like they were really chill about it. It was insane. Not a worry in the world. The police have the population interfering. The issues start with the sanctuary cities and their voter base, though. ICE is making his work as well. That's the thing, yeah, I do think, like, from the sounds of it, there's a lot of things happening without state permission, and, like, when you go federal law over state law, I think that's the right wording, it becomes messy, right? Because a lot of states have a lot of power over their stuff. It was like, what was in the news? I saw that some federal stuff was removing things from a museum, and I don't know if it was Massachusetts or something, and it didn't have the approval of the state, which is not how you do it. And I can understand how that makes people antsy and freaking annoyed. I was like, buddy, that's not how it does. You know, that's not part of your job right now. What are you doing? To have a soft spot towards the police, I kind of give them that expected gadget because I wanted to be a cop as a kid, but mine was because of Appleseed and stuff like there was so many police officers in anime. Like I just same with the Major for Ghost in the Shell. I thought she was so cool. I was just like, oh yeah. Thanks for that head pat. I like how competitive you are about how you feel. You don't let us influence you or the audience, which is quite refreshing. Yeah, I like that we can like have a discussion back and forwards about it, but we don't have to influence each other or change each other's mind specifically about it. As long as we can kind of see the point of view where we can kind of coming from, and like that's a good way to keep in mind. So you can have discussions. Hello, Headache. Hype train and let's go. More issues just to add to their work. Too many societal issues. Yeah, I was reading something about the fact that a core problem with that the US faces with change is that it's foundationally built on like more conservative and extreme beliefs, like because they were like Christianity is a core part of US beliefs compared to other what is it called? Settlements, like Australia was, yeah, they were prisoners, etc. But we didn't have like the whole thing where like Christians moved in. That never happened here. So a cool part of the American population were those people, and it like really made the difference of how America grew, I guess, and that mindset stays. I'm not sure. It's hard to explain, but like in other countries they didn't have that, like in Canada, Australia, you know, other ex-Commonwealths, even though America wasn't part of the Commonwealth, but you know, like British colonies. That's what I'm thinking of. Colonies. The Puritans, yes. So I hear a lot of talk about that, how some of those ideas are still going forward, and it makes America as a culture resistant to change. I'm a tiny, yeah, you're tiny bunnies too, yay, tiny bunnies. But it's also, America is huge. Like, you guys have like 350 million people. Trying to get everyone to agree is like fucking horrendous. I would imagine. A lot of these Christians in America are fake and Puritan, and biblically speaking, they are more akin to Pharisees than being Christ-like, which is my opinion. What is a Pharisee? Pharisees. Yeah, so we all have like lipstick. What are the lipstick Christians are the more ones where they're Christian but they don't take it very seriously. You know, they don't go to church much, etc. That's most people. Similar to a lot of European countries now, how most of them are Christian, but they don't really practice it all that much. Be physically. I think being near them is obstructing the vast majority of first nearby. Yelling and recording, which is constitutionally protected under the First Amendment. That is the thing I find so weird, is that people, about the defending it, is like a lot of things that people are doing that are getting hurt are part of it, like in a big point in the American Constitution, isn't it? It used to be like the right to carry, the freedom of speech, stuff like that. Don't enforce state laws on ICE despite the murder this month in illegally occupying cities. Yeah, I understand they're probably in a really sticky situation, right? No one wants to be that first guy to do it. They're like sweating. Like, bro, I'm scared. Standing to the side is not interfering. Whistles are. Wait, whistles are interfering? How? Super I am Bob. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Delinquents. How does a whistle interfere? So if I'm an ICE agent and a kid whistles, I can punch him in the face. He interfered with me. Sorry, that's an extreme example, but that's like a weird thought. Kid whistles. Squeak, squeak, bunny noise. They can cause hearing damage, I guess, but wouldn't that mean you had to, like, you can have a whistle for safety against attackers. You can have pepper spray, you can have, tasers in the US. That's the idea why in Australia you can't have tasers or thing, because you can damage someone with it, which is the whole point. So why are they legal to have, but you can't use them around anyone? Therefore, to run. I guess. But I don't know. I feel like that's fine to say, oh, that's illegal, but I don't think you should be able to attack, like, physically hurt someone with a whistle, like, because they blew a whistle. Yeah, you know? In many of the ICE situation, but it gives them no right to use violence, force, or that. Exactly. I can understand writing them up or fining them or something for it, but physical altercations against a non-physical threat is a no-go in my mind. Like, that does not make sense to me. Yeah, exactly. That would be my point of view. And I think that's, like, the reasonable response, right? The reasonable is to just go, like, bro, it's like, I'm gonna give you a fine if you don't shut the fuck like, because personally, I would be like, I don't get paid enough to roughhouse you over a whistle. I don't get paid nearly enough for this. Okay, let's find this. This is gonna be the weirdest thing you've seen all week. We're gonna start off with something funny. I'm gonna sit up straight because I can't read from back here. I'm too blind. Oh, I went to the pool today. I went for a swim. It was nice. It was kind of cold though, but because I've been taking up swimming because of my stupid autoimmune disease. It's making my arms and my joints hurt. Damn inflammation of the joints. It's like a very common side effect of it, unfortunately. And they's like, swimming might help. And I'm like, thanks, bro. Glad I paid for the doctors. Okay, there we go. That connected with my love and Spectre gadget whenever I went to get spinal tap surgery. I always ask my surgeon if they're going to turn me into a cyborg. Nice. I bet they got a nice little laugh out of that. What the hell did I click on? What? Writing someone up requires isolating them enough to do the write-up. And warning people of speed traps or undercover cops is interference, which is not and has been won against in court. Oh, that's interesting. Imagine having common sense. It sounds... Incompetency, they only get 47 days of training before they... That's less. You know how long it gets to train to be... You think an ICE agent would be a police officer? You would think, right? I find it crazy that they aren't. A night, Brian. Have a good one. Okay, this is like it's like this stuff is AI. I'm gonna assume like a lot of these come from AI classes, and look what they've been using it for. Like who thinks up this shit? Who thinks up this shit? I've been seeing them everywhere, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's up with Japan?" And they're AI generated. Like, oh, bro, what? That's the thing. You have to double take to realize it's like, no, this is a little crazy for Japan. No. This is a little out there, even for Japan, you know what I mean? To be faster, stronger, better than before, guys. Get 6 months of training or years by police activity in other countries like, say, Canada. But they put that in 47 days. That's crazy. Yeah. Australia, you had to do like a diploma, like at least 18 months for a diploma of justice, and then there's a bachelor's you can do, but it depends what kind of officer you want to be. So you need at least like 2 years of like almost 1.5 years of training, education, and then you can train as a police officer. That's how you start in Oz. ICE isn't qualified to be police, so they are that incompetent and untrained. The training standards for police in the US is such a low bar, so that tells you how stupid ICE is. Damn. So why has the standards for police stayed so low in America? Is there like a reason for it? Okay, we'll start with these because these are the ones I've saved. They're definitely out of order. Like, and there's different ones here. I'll do this weird thing I found on Kick first, mainly because it's a standalone and it's weird as fuck. And then we'll get into some of the. I think it's mainly Tectone at the front here that I've saved for information. It's all the wrong way around. 100%. 5 years for Romania. That reminds me of like in Finland, it takes 3 to 4 years of bachelor's and then 2 years in a master's. Then you can teach in school. Even in Australia, you need a bachelor's to teach in school, and then you need 6. You'll train for 5 years, getting paid. You'll get a lower wage, but the first couple years are technically training. That's why you get a lower wage. And yeah, it's the same thing. Like in some European countries, it's actually a prestigious job to be a teacher because of the training that goes into it. And a quick question, don't ICE agents get paid more than the average person, and don't they get a higher bonus? I saw something going around that saying they got a high bonus for signing up, and they were getting crazy Christmas bonuses or something, because I saw a clip going around about, they were talking about the wasted money into ICE with very little results, how for some reason these agents are getting paid like way higher than the average salary and getting ridiculous bonuses, and I'm just like, that is curious. I don't know the thought process there. I thought he was decent, but unfortunately he's not. Who, Tectone or this guy? But, because I don't know this guy. Okay, apparently this kid launched a coin and utility exploiting his own mother. So this is in crypto on Kick. Fucking Kick. And apparently he's using his mum, jiggling her booba to get viewers. We have reached peak audacity on the internet. It's time to burn all... It's time to burn everything. It's over, guys. The internet has reached total circle jerk of degeneracy. After they serve time in local jail from local gov, it's also... I'm ready to go. Send the meteor. We're ready to go, guys. We can't be redeemed at this point. It's worse that he's doing crypto at the same time. Oh, okay. It has a budget higher than most militaries. I think only the 8 countries have higher military costs. That's insane. Imagine if they gave you actually spent money on their country. Take me to the king. She's available. Yes, it's his mom. And I'm gonna move myself to the left so you can see the chat go by. So you can see what they're fucking saying. At the same time. Because I feel like that adds. You know, it really adds to it. So let me move over here. I'll put my mic down.
Milk! Come on, guys! Want to see him pour milk all over these? 36 double G's?
Oh, wait.
It's at 300k. They're gonna do it.
Be ready to gag, guys, if you can hear them.
If you want to see my son, he actually suckled on these. Now he's going to get to pour milk on them. Okay.
What the fuck?
Let's get up there.
I wish I didn't have ears the first time I had this, and I tell you now, I'm sharing So you suffer with me. It's pretty bad. This is the reputation Kick has, and this is why no one, like, respects Kick.
Oh fuck, it's gotta stay over 300. It's gotta stay over 300 for me to do it.
Yep.
It's gotta stay over 300 for me to do it. Oh my god.
Come
Oh,
Imagine.
on. These bad boys from.
oh my.
Sweet home Alabama. Okay, bruh. Oh my god, this is his mom. Whoa, laugh my fuck. Keep talking, mama. Lol, what the fuck? No, bro. No, what the fuck? She's talking, shaking her titties in her son's face. What the fuck? I love your mom. Who? The carrot. Because the lady is being nasty. Exactly. In front of her son. That's the thing. One, I can't believe the mom agreed to this. Two, who goes, yeah, I'll use my pimp out my mom for viewers. Like, are people so obsessed now with getting famous that they'll pimp out their mother for views? Like, damn, son. Like, who's willing, like, who does this? Who? Why does he look so long? He's probably like 16. Let's be real, because there's so many young people just trying to get famous on the internet now. And this is why Australia banned those kids, I tell you now. God, I wish this was the reason we banned those kids. You all thought we were crazy. We were out of our minds for banning those children. Now you see that crazy had reasons. That's a thing of a woman who has no self-respect. Oh my god. Based Aussies. You know, everyone was like, I can't believe Australia did this, but you know what Australia had to say about them? Fuck them kids. Fuck them kids. Everyone didn't have the... That's what I like to joke about. Everyone said fuck them kids, but only Australia had the balls to say fuck off. Her mom first. I love her mom. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't read all these documents other than some of these, but pretty much the gist of it here. Tectone had to go to civil court or something. So let's start this from the beginning. In the news today, we have a crazy drama that somehow connects to the VTuber community, even though it rightly shouldn't. But for some reason, so many VTubers have some connection to Tectone, unfortunately. But I don't really, I know a bit about him, mainly for his rage baiting and kind of harassing people and, you know, being a rage knuckle mostly. And other than VTubers know him. And it came out that he was going to court because he hadn't been streaming, and one of the reasons is because he was doing a civil case about him stalking and harassing his ex. And he lost the civil case she had against him. I don't know who actually brought it up, but there is stuff in these documents that kind of prove he wasn't innocent, but he says that the courts let him down. He did a stream recently talking about it. He doesn't really refute that he did the things mentioned in there. From what I can tell, it's just that this wouldn't fly in real court, just civil court let him down, which I find very odd that he just doesn't blatantly deny it. He just says, I shouldn't have tweeted as much, which is odd. So he doesn't really deny anything. He just denies that it's technically not stalking or harassing her, which I find very odd. Like, I find very odd. It's like, bro, just because you don't think it's harassment doesn't mean it's not harassment. He's just like, well, in real court, it wouldn't be harassment. It's like, bro, everyone who's reading this says this, if this is true, it would be harassing and stalking someone. Yeah. That is the biggest thing. Stalking and harassment is one of the hardest things to actually get a case for. He's like, how many people get a protective order in my state? Like 70%. It's like, because most people don't get protective orders for no reason. And two, it's actually very hard, especially on stalking, to get one. Most female streamers have talked about this with real 100% stalkers. Them trying to get anything done is incredibly difficult. So there must have been quite the paper trail. Because people who have come out for defense is like, oh, proof, where's proof? But the thing is, they wouldn't just take her word for it. There is like probably a plethora of texts, documents, tweets of him harassing her. And that's kind of the thing, is it's almost definite he's probably stalked / harassed her based like the order was done for 10 years. Do you know how hard it is to get a protective order for 10 years? Very. And there is also a part of it where he sexually assaulted her, where he forced her to give him a blowjob after she got her lips done or something and damaged her lips. Again, I guess that is a he said, she said part of it, but he doesn't really refute that. He just says that she said yes at the time. Which, even if someone says yes, it doesn't give you the right to be violent with them and hurt them, you know what I mean? Just because someone says yes at the time. So his wording is very odd, and there's other things in this document that's come up, and I'm not going to say I'm 100% getting this description right, but it's about that Tectone is diagnosed with schizophrenia like years ago, but he does not take any medication for it, and that he has ongoing delusions. And some of his friends have talked about it, and friends or ex-friends, so we don't know 100% if this is true, but from what I've read, it's in the court document. So it's very hard to take him like his word for it when apparently he's literally has a delusion. He's schizophrenic, yes, he's schizophrenic apparently. But there's a lot of like stuff from other people mixed in here, because Munjin, is that how we say his name? Munjin, an ex-friend of his, came out with a document and a video on it we can watch to get a good look into it. On his side of it and cutting ties with him. Where is it? I had it saved in here. There we go. Mujin, that's the right word, how you say it, but I had his document somewhere here. Did I scroll past it? Yeah, here we go. Mujin came out with other stuff. One person did defend him, but a lot of people have cut ties with Tectone because of this. Asmongold just says he won't talk about it, which is not a great sign, saying most streamers will talk about everything unless they cannot defend it in any way. So I don't think it actually helps him in any way in him not talking about it, because yeah. Can always be revoked. Exactly. Bid grown like crazy. Yeah. She can say yes, and then he can force her to be on what she wanted. Both can be true. Consent doesn't mean you can do whatever. Exactly. Consent doesn't mean whatever. Imagine you saying yes to your girlfriend to have sex and she tries to peg you. That doesn't mean she gets to. Think of that. I'm sorry. That's a crazy example, but that's the best example I can think of revoking consent. Like, it's like, if she's just like, you can be like, oh hell nah, at that point. Just because you said yes before that doesn't mean the yes continues on. She's fine. Yes, it's a complex. It has layers, but I feel like that's like a good example for guys to be like, oh yeah, I definitely get that now. Oh yeah. And that's when you can really understand known being known. I'm kidding. Hey Halo, thanks for following. Welcome to the Delinquents. And there's some stuff in here. I will read Mujin's out here. Finds that there are reasonable grounds to believe the respondent committed one or more of the following offenses against applicant: trafficking person, continued trafficking, oh my god, there's some crazy ones in here, decency with a child, sexual assault, and stalking. So they're the two. So, and it was 10 years, which is very difficult to get. That is the thing that says to me there's more than just he said, she said, because it's very hard to get a stalking order, but it's 10 years. Usually they have to get redone every couple years. You're welcome, Tony. I hurt someone's brain, but you're welcome. Usually doesn't involve himself with drama around his friends. His reason is that he has more of an insight into these things. Wouldn't that be the reason why you do talk about it? A lot of factors involved, but Tectone is not the best source of information. Exactly, that's the thing. I would say he's been in so many dramas and been found at fault a lot, so it's very hard to take his word for it. And he was abusive kind of to his ex-wife too, so he kind of has a history here. And there's 2 girlfriends that had abuse claims against them, so I'm just like, you don't have the best track record here. And some people said, oh, he technically wasn't abusive to his wife because him yelling at her while she's silent is not abuse. And I beg to differ, because I saw the videos of it, and some people like, oh, that's not abuse. But if you're arguing with someone, yelling at them, and try to pick a fight with them and stuff like that. And they're just there silently. I think that's kind of abusive if you're just yelling at someone and they're just there. They're just not responding and you're just yelling at them. I'm just like, bro, I feel like if you will do that on stream, I have to assume worse is probably happening behind the scenes. But that is an opinion on that one. So, and I cannot comment on his wife on that one because I think they have a protective order against him too. Don't quote me on that, but he's not allowed to talk about her anymore. But I don't remember exactly the things, but he's legally not allowed to talk about her anymore, from my understanding. The guy, I would say, yeah, there's a lot of situations where, like, how do people keep defending this? The same with birth control undoes consent as well, even if it's found out after the deed. Exactly. It's the same if you have sex with someone and do not reveal you have an STD. That is also, you gave, like, what is it, false? They gave you false without consent without all the information, and you can get in trouble for that. Because you can reveal info that others might not want to reveal. Yeah, 10 years is only possible in Texas, and Trent County is more willing to put the hammer down. Again, not defending him, just saying why there's this hammer came down harder. Okay, that makes sense. See, that's something people say in Texas. Oh, it's so easy to get a protective order in Texas, but I don't think it's so easier, but it makes sense why the 10 years is, like, high, because usually you don't. It's very flimsy. People I've seen taking him at his word is incredibly odd. That is the thing I do find odd about this situation. He's been proved that he lies in the past, and people's like, I'm taking him as his word, but I won't take her as her word because she does OnlyFans or something. And I'm like, odd. But according to their relationship and things mentioned, he's the one who got her into doing OnlyFans, and I find that very crazy. Seeing he started he got in drama at the beginning of last year for saying all OnlyFans girls are whores or some shit and talking down to them. And I thought that was very odd, seeing he's been, like, shown to slide into OnlyFans girls' DMs. But that's even more ironic that he talked his girlfriend into doing OnlyFans, and he's like, you can not like all those things, but I don't think it should automatically make someone less trustworthy on their word just by their job, you know what I mean? Like, it just because we don't like our profession doesn't mean they don't have a right to, like, protection. You know what I mean? That is my point of view with it. It's like, if she has a track record of lying, sure, we can use that. But yeah. Okay, now we're going to talk into Mugen's part of it before we go into his video responses on it. But Mugen is an ex-friend of Tectone. He seemed kind of, like, wishy-washy on him, but he stopped talking to him, I think, last year, but some people said it was more recent than that, because when this stuff was coming out. And this has become a huge discussion on how much every one of his friends knew of his behavior. But I'm going to be honest, I think a lot of people, even in the VTubing space, had a vague idea that he can be kind of an cunt. I can't say that because I'll have to no, I'll say it and censor it, like, a bit of a cunt. Like, he can be a bit of a cunt. At the very least. And that's the thing, I don't think everyone is, like, aware of all his, like, backdoor secrets, because, like, the thing is, you don't want to, like, rock the boat sometimes with it. And I never interacted with him because I thought he was kind of just, I don't like the rage knuckle thing. It's not my kind of person I like to hang out with. And what's the word I'm looking for? I only hang out with content creators I actually can talk to or have a
Katie
good time
loves
with.
cats _John 2 just subscribed.
Let's go.
Upgrading their cell.
Let's go. Thanks, Katie, for the sub. Let's go. Grinder crashed after Trump. That's hilarious. I'm Australian. Here we go.
You're an Australian Dell. Say the C word with your chest out and all your heart.
It's because it gets flagged on YouTube. It's why I try not to say it anymore. That's the thing. That is the thing with abusive things. You can't be 100%. Was the relationship mutually abusive? But then we have to think of, is it a mutually abusive because they're both abusive, or is one person cracking under the abuse? But that's the thing. So that's the thing. Unless you actually have, an eye into the relationship, we can't fully say what happened. And no matter how much we like, this guy's an asshole, blah, 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 and some information, we weren't in their relationship. And at the very least, the stalking part had to be put into place because he wouldn't leave her the fuck alone. At the very least, that needed to be done, that we can say that he wouldn't leave her alone. And that's the only thing we can probably definitely say. Reason I like his content, that's the reason I don't like his content, is because he's angry and antagonistic and just an asshole, and I don't like the yelly screamy like stuff. But so, you know, each to their own. But I don't like people who are like, oh, it's just my persona, so I'm gonna be the biggest asshole ever. I want to give a TLDR. We're talking about the Tectone drama. It's always the same bunch of people getting drama. Yeah, that is the thing talking about here is, if you look at the people always getting into drama, it's very rinse and repeat. It's because people like to talk about cancel culture, but I'm going to be real with you. Cancel culture doesn't work. People's like, cancel culture, but it doesn't actually do anything. All these people stay around creating more problems. Because look at, what's his name? Dr. Disrespect. He got cancelled for actually a good reason. He's still making money and doing stuff, and that's the thing. And this actually comes up in the court document that Tectone talks about shifting his content to a different like faction of like people because he had to pivot or he would lose money. And this is actually a common tactic by creators. Depending on what they do, they just pivot their audience to someone who's more willing to accept the behavior they're getting cancelled for. And just at some point, no one will defend them, but it takes a long time. And you have to be pretty bad. You have to be pretty damn bad. Here's what cancel culture does. It provides a clout machine for them to keep posting rage bait, which is what these people usually do. Yes. Exactly, because the thing is, actually nice people that get called out for something take themselves out the door most of the time. They're like, okay, I'm done. You know what? I can't do this anymore. I really fucked up. And then they leave. And it's always the people that could really redeem themselves, unfortunately. But the assholes that you actually want gone, like, you're just like, there is no place for you anywhere. No one likes you, man. You're a menace to society. They never leave. It never works on the people who actually it should work. You would want it to work on. Okay, let me fix up my mic. Exactly, homies. I like Techie because he's a rage baiter, but then again, as an honest rage baiter, I'm disappointed that he's kind of hypocritical, especially with Blue Archive drama. Oh, I would say is a big thing. There's one thing rage baiting, sure, whatever. You know, or even like clickbaiting. Sure, whatever, it's part of the grind. I can see it. But when you're a hypocrite about everything, that's when it gets fucking annoying. Like, when you're just a giant hypocrite, and that's what I get with some of these Twitter rage baiters, they're just hypocrites about it. They'll, like, bully the shit out of someone, and someone will be like, dude, you're a bit of a asshole. And they're like, wee, I can't believe you said this about me. I'm being bullied. And you're just like, can't what? It's like, at least stay consistent, okay? Just at least stay consistent. Because one thing I would find about rage bait is they always talk about how some people are harassing them and want them to die, and then they turn around and goes like, oh, I hope these fucking aunties would die. Bro! You cannot complain people do something you yourself do. Nani, Basuki, what? Of the internet, it's almost impossible to cancel. Yep, no matter how much you cancel, you can find new plates, a new home for yourself. The audience will simply pivot because usually the person is used as bait, and then they change the entire brand around baiting people on Twitter. Especially turned me off too many content creators. Like, forget the drama and move on. You baiting the shit out of some more is just icky to me personally, and then complain about being bullied. No more sex to me than I don't get of them. That to me, I don't get it. Yes, like it didn't happen. It's like I've only covered Powdery a couple times, and it's because I used to watch her when she was a VR streamer a few times, because I started off in VR stuff, and like literally, bro, I muted her And I use the follower and everything, and I'm just like, I just ignore it most of the time because I'm just like, all she does is rage right now. And I was like, she used to be such a comfy VR streamer, and I'm just like, what the fuck happened, man? It's like, oh, Joe over. Our toy's broken? What do you mean? But okay, let's read through the Muujin. Cutting all ties with Tectone. I've known about everything, even before it was a lawsuit, as far back as Q4 2024. What he did to the victim was incredibly disturbing and unforgivable. Any reasonable human being with the slightest hint of morals would feel sick to their stomach when they heard the full details. Wait, he knew in 2024, then he stayed friends with him while he knew. I guess it takes a while, but this is the debate everyone's having, that he's coming out now, but he was still friends with Tectone while this was happening, from my understanding. Oh, which one? Yeah, slap and throw isn't happening, but head pat is. Hey, Wicked! Over the last year, Tectone has attempted to rebrand himself as a patriotic American who deeply cares about God, country, and family. That seems to be a common pivot. Because I feel like a lot of people, once they see, like, I've turned to God or something, they think, oh, he's truly redeemed and he's trying to change his life. But the thing is, for me, like I say when this kind of comes up in some of these stories, is if a person wants redemption, they actually have to try and change their behavior to redeem, you know, like, be a better person. That is a huge difference. You can't just say you believe in God and it washes away your sins. Even in Christianity, that's not how it works. You actually have to truly want to redeem yourself. Like, repent? Is that the right word? Grifting himself into an entirely new friend group, all while deliberately targeting a new breed of followers who defend him no matter what. He made sure of this by constantly training and preparing them to hear bad things about him, twisting reality into a fan fiction about people who were only after him due to his political beliefs, even though he was innocent and just wanted to be left alone. That is also a common way they do it. It's like, I just want to do my own thing. Repent. Yep, you have to repent. And it's the same thing if you want forgiveness for others. You actually have to want to do change. Anytime someone would bring up what the victim said about him, he'd say that he had lawyers going after her, that it was only a matter of time before the court would prove his innocence, and that an OnlyFans whore should never be believed. Mind you, he was the one who encouraged her to make an account there in the first place. See, this is one of it. He would often gloat about it to other gacha content creators. Imagine bragging to your friends, yeah, like, I convinced my girlfriend to join OnlyFans. I'm a baller. Like, whose mind works like that? Well, Tectone, the final court hearing lasted for 7 hours, and throughout it all, even after having spent an obscene amount of money hiring an ex-judge that had it appointed by the governor of Texas himself, as well as 4 other extra attorneys assisting him, he managed to catastrophically lose to one woman who simply hired one lawyer in a case where the odds were heavily in your favor. What the fuck? He had an ex-judge? That's crazy. I'm curious about that. Conversation leads to people to just hate everyone that isn't like you and preach America exceptionally without morally consistency. Yeah, I find that so weird they use that as a blanket to protect themselves. The demons invaded a church and... What? What? Starting a rabbit review. Rabbits everywhere. Hey, Bash, welcome in. How are we going today, homie? Listen carefully when I say this. I know women who have tried and failed to get restraining orders against stalkers that endanger their lives daily, all by presenting substantial evidence. Yeah, we've seen this a lot with VTubers, especially big ones. They try to get restraining orders, and it's not until they literally get, like, almost stabbed that they do anything. So it's like, we know it's difficult depending on where you are. What's crazy, though? You know what's crazy, though? This was not even a restraining order. This was its upgraded version used for exceptional occasion. A protective order made on the basis of sexual assault. It's something that's extremely hard to prove. The fact that the judge gave him a whopping 10 years is unprecedented. It's usually 2 years. It certainly shows how much of a danger he was concerning in regards to her safety, but of course he'll choose to downplay this and some sort of left versus right political martyrdom as if he's Johnny Depp and she's Amber Heard. The official court order is now finally public. You can see the main details and verdict in the tweet I quoted down below. The transcript will follow very soon, but I will not mention or share it, as it most likely contains some extremely personal details for both parties involved, medical records being one of them. Ooh. Let it be known that from this point onwards, anyone still caught defending Tectone is purposely ignoring facts for what most likely is a desperate and pathetic attempt at gaining favor or clout. As for me, I'm sure you might be wondering, why did I choose to only speak up now? Okay, we're gonna get into why he didn't, but yeah, this is so odd. As long as time Tectone hater, this pleases. I was very like, I don't really like that guy, but I ignored him. And then the more he got involved in VTubing stuff, the more he just peeved me off. Because he would just randomly harass VTubers, and I'm just like, dude, bugger off. And so I'm just like, I'm not surprised by this at all. Well, it simply wasn't my place to do so, but more importantly, protective order court cases are infamously difficult for the victim, especially in the state of Texas. Saying or even hinting about anything could have very easily endangered the entire case for her. Furthermore, seeing that Tectone is most likely a psychopath who also happens to be a schizophrenic who doesn't take medication, and had a sizable gun collection, I wouldn't even pretend to completely cut ties with him. The victim was in constant daily fear of her safety. Okay, that might also be the reason, but I don't know. People always say psychopath, but I would say probably a narcissist, because psychopaths are rare. But, because I'm pretty sure psychopaths don't have much regard for themselves. But narcissists have high regard for themselves and no regard for others, so it's like a step down, right? The victim was in constant daily fear for her safety, and I wasn't about to make it worse by having him become even more paranoid, especially since he constantly threatened to leak videos taken of her without her consent if she dared to speak out against him. Oh yeah, that would definitely get protective orders if he's texted that to her. Oh yeah, that would be up there. But I'll definitely look up that word so I can learn more about it. Yeah, his community was like, yeah, Tectone's a VTuber now just because he had an egg model and only used it once or twice. You know, it's the fall of prenup. Tried to be objected. I hate Tectone, but I still believe it innocent until proven guilty, even for him. Well, he lost his case and got 10 years, and there is information on this. So I would say he's not exactly leaning towards innocent in any way. In fact, I wish I could report him for the amount of time he's harassed VTubers, but sending him to court requires actual evidence and due process. As I said, innocent till... Well, he did lose in court. This whole thing is about he lost in court. And he has a 10-year protective order, and he can't own guns. This is fine if you don't have the evidence. In civil court, yeah. Yeah. Definitely not, but it doesn't mean he's innocent. That's the thing. It may be not the same as like legal court, but I would say he's like definitely leaning towards he's done some things wrong. We don't know if everything he's done wrong, but I would say there is definitely some truth, like I said earlier, to the stalking allegations, and that he won't leave her alone. And I think we can attest to this because he was harassing her via Twitter, so I think that's a part we can really lean towards that he's guilty on. All the other stuff we aren't 100% sure, we don't have the information on, but I feel like from watching his actions, we can kind of see he is definitely guilty of harassing her. And that part of it, I would say, it's like there's a lot of like evidence and stuff like that of him doing that and his behaviors. The other stuff we can't fully be on, but that's between him and the courts and the information they're given. We would not be made privy to that. And I do think that's a big part, the part we can see he does do to be taken here seriously, is that he harasses his exes. Like, I'm pretty sure his first wife has a protective order against him too, because he wouldn't stop harassing him. So, like, we can see some patterns here, and we've seen his behavior towards her on Twitter, where he's harassed her. So, we don't know the other details of it, but we can see why he was found guilty of and needed a protective order if he would not leave her alone. Because according to this, before this went to court, he still wouldn't stop talking about her on stream. Okay. And finally, to really put salt in the wound to any of the same tired excuses that would undoubtedly keep coming out of to defend him, no, the victim did not do this for clout. Seeing that she has way more followers than Tectone, she also most definitely did not do this for the money, seeing that she makes significantly more than him too, something that really pisses him off. This was simply done because the guy couldn't stop mentioning and slandering her every single time he went live, seriously, because she has a genuine fear for her safety. You know what? I'd say that's warranted, given that after losing the case, he'd go as far as leaking private court documents to his Discord moderator, who then leaked them to the public through his Discord server, which is in turn docked her current residential address to God knows who, how many people. Very classy. Nice job, man. Good luck with your appeal. In the end, though, I hope the victim can finally live her life free of this very sick man's clutches. I also hope that the law eventually catches up with all these people who deserve it. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Mujin. And that is the thing. I think his behavior after this, if he could actually keep to this protector order, would like give us an idea of how guilty. If he can't stop himself from contacting her and harassing her, well, it's very obvious that why the protective order is needed. If anything, given my disgust for his behavior, that's definitely true. But the thing is, like, with a criminal case, the police have to agree to trial it, and that's the big part. And I feel like that's why some of these things, especially stalking and stuff like that, go civil, because the police have to go, yeah, I'm going to trial it. I think we can see the evidence. I'm going to assume from what Kylie is saying, we can't assume everything is true. We can use our minds to go like, oh, we've seen him do this. We've seen him do this online. This part is most likely true, but we can't, like, the things we are not privy to, we can't say without a doubt he's guilty of, right? I'm going to assume just not that he's guilty of everything. For a civil suit or essay is much lower than, say, a criminal case. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm not saying he 100% essayed her or that 100% happened that way, but I would definitely say, because this is how stalking is put through, and his previous behavior, his behavior before her, his leaking court documents, him previously having an order from his ex-wife, I would say most likely he's guilty of stalking and harassment. So that's abuse. Can we say it for a fact he's guilty of sexual assault? No. We are not privy to that information, but let's be honest, I feel like even him being a stalker and a harasser is pretty fucked up. Or available in his track record, I'd say he's liable at the very least. Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's the only one, and we'll go into a couple other stories that involve Tectone. Well, I think I saved some of those for Rev, because this has turned into many other parts of it. And that is the thing. As we can see, he does have a track record of doing this, and yeah. Credit. Some president in the VTuber Jason just had drama blow because he lost project order case. Yes. Now he is guilty of something. What we don't know to the degree. Exactly. That is the thing. All we know is that the protective order was done because of this. Okay, here we go. I don't know. Hopefully this doesn't give any information. So this was a reply to Tectone update. The official protective order was filed with Travis County today, as well as Tectone's affidavit confirming he knows he can no longer possess firearms. Here are the highlights from the documents. I do find it crazy if he's schizophrenic and unmedicated that he's allowed to own firearms, because I thought even America had laws against that. Yeah, that's the thing. I do think he thinks on the internet he's untouchable, and he does some very suspect things on the internet. Here are the highlights from the document. The court finds there are reasonable ground to believe Tectone both sexually assaulted and stalked Pink. The court believe it is likely his stalking would persist if he's not legally barred from it. The protective order persists until 23rd of January 2036. Tectone will pay $15,000 in Pink's lawyer fee. Tectone cannot share any photo, videos of Pink with anyone. Tectone cannot communicate with Pink directly or indirectly except through his lawyer. Tectone cannot engage in conduct that is reasonably likely to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass Pink directly. Tectone cannot go within 200 yards of Pinky Chew or her residence or her place of work. Tectone cannot possess or receive firearms. Oh, really? Mentally unfit? Yeah, in Oz, I think anyone with a severe mental illness can't own them. Don't quote me on that. Hey, boss, how you going? And someone might say I'm ableist, but I don't think a schizophrenic should own firearms. That's just like, come home. Oh my god, my wife's turned into a lizard man. I don't know how schizophrenia works. I'm going to be for real for you. Jokes aside. Not communication in a manner with a person protected by this order. whichever, including through the phone calls, emails, text messages. Okay. Oh, he has till February 2nd to get rid of all his guns. So he should have all his guns gone by now. Any kind of photograph, video, electronic or digital media that is recording of the applicant or displays an image of the applicant. Okay. Stalking protective order. Oh, wait, they give his full name? I don't know if they should have put that. Receiving firearms under federal law do not have any. Acknowledge that firearms may not be owned by, loaned to, rented by, or borrowed by. Oof. I know it's public, but I don't know. Oh, wait. He could get a fine of $250,000, damn. Okay. This doesn't count as me doxing him, right? I have to go to the dentist tomorrow. Okay, Tony, have a good one. If the other party uses it as a sword, the order can be revoked. Ah! I'm fine with, because the government is after them, and there are cameras under their skin. You're killing me. Yes. Yeah, I do think people should have let that part out. I know people would have been like, proof he signed it, proof he... But I feel like most people don't know his real name. Yeah, this is the part people are talking about next to him on stream. Guys, real quick, let me correct me some shit I see. I said about me, I wasn't convicted of a crime. I wasn't involved in a criminal proceeding. No, I'm not going to fucking jail or facing any criminal punishment. Guys, this was a civil hearing with a significantly lower standard of proof than a criminal proceeding. Give me a bit. I gotta finish a couple more things up, and we'll talk after. Honestly, I do see when people's like, oh, he didn't deny it, because, like, that would be the first thing I would do. If I was accused, it's like, bro, I did not do that. Like, if I'm innocent, I'd be like, that wasn't me, bitch. Fighting doxing or abuse, yeah. Oh, is it on his, like, page? Okay, this is odd one, and, like, let's go on this. And it's about him saying the civil court is just a vibe check. I don't know if it's that chill. Like, they do asks for evidence. I don't think it's that chill. Things that publicly access on text is only not be focused either. It's talked about it. Ah, yeah. But evidence of countering the order. Oh, really? Because of the black market and the underground, the law only affect the law-abiding. True, true. But I still think it's good to have those, because then you can, like, if you find them with a gun, you can be like, bro, you're schizophrenic. You shouldn't have a gun.
A lot of people want to act like they're lawyers these days, okay?
I know, like that legal mindset who got in trouble too because he doxed all the information for Pinky Chew and their home addresses and everything. So Legal Mindset got in so much trouble, and he's getting dragged into this too now, because another part of this is Legal Mindset who's also a friend of Tectone, went over all these documents like day one and gave it all the information on it, showing it to everyone. And I think he unblocked out some stuff because Pinky Chew made a statement saying she was going to see if she could do anything about it, but as most people do know, Legal Mindset is in Thailand because he has a side thing. He's a passport bro. He has like a side YouTube about people, how to be a passport bro, pretty much. And yeah, but he's a contracts lawyer. Legal Mindset is a contracts lawyer, guys. Because I've seen him blatantly give out information that is just not true. He's a passport. Yeah, exactly. But he's about contract law, so real estate and stuff like that. Like, he's not a lawyer that goes to court and fights, justice. It's literally about contracts.
They do. What is a civil case? Spoiler alert, guys. I lost a civil case. I did. Hey, I did. And we're going to talk about, I lost. It's true. And we're going to.
He's trying to act like this is content. Like, bro, like, can you take it seriously? Like, if you did something wrong here, can you be a little repentant? For example, yeah, that's the thing. If him going over for JoJo contracts, I will give him some credence. I will give him some, like some backing, because that is his field. But in the lore, I would not.
Talk about everything. What is a civil case? So a civil case is essentially a vibe check to where they see, how were this guy's vibes? Unfortunately, I'm fucking retarded. Yeah, L for me. I'm fucking retarded and I run my mouth way too much. One thing that I've learned, and
kind of what people count as harassment. So that's the thing. That's why he actually got it, because running your mouth at people is like constantly and not stopping is harassment, bro. And that's the problem I have with this. He's just like, I just run my mouth. Bro, people are telling you it's harassment. You're harassing people. It's like, nah, they just didn't like my vibe.
throughout this slideshow, there's going to be consistent change. I am going to start tweeting 95% less. I uninstalled Twitter on
I'll fucking believe it when I see it. Every time he's just like, I'm taking a vacation from Twitter, he's back running his mouth, I
my
swear.
phone, and I'm not going to tweet for 1 week. Yep. Because...
Oh, thank you. The protective order's for 10 years, but he's not going to tweet for a week, guys. That's the thing. People are already running bets how long it takes before he gets in trouble on his protective order. Like, because he's not taking it seriously enough. Like, what? Like, you think you'd at least take it seriously, you have to get rid of your guns, and that you need to be careful about what you say, and you could get fined, but he does not seem to be taking it seriously at all.
A civil case isn't determined by proof, it's determined by vibes. And usually the way that court cases work for like criminal cases is you need to have proof to prove that someone's guilty, but in a civil case, I needed proof to prove that I'm innocent, which was hard, and I'm a bastard.
He says that so nonchalantly, and it was hard, and I'm a bastard because I did all the things she accused me of with harassing her, because it's all online. Like, bro, like, how can you nonchalantly? It's like, yeah, you've harassed people. That's the thing. He has actually harassed people. We know that. We've seen it on Twitter. So he can't refute it, that part of it. Like the other stuff, but like, bro, you're just like, yeah, I act like a giant cunt all the time, so I couldn't refute that. It's like, bro, at this point, it's not even just about Pikachu. When you can't prove you're not a harasser, it's time to log off. Thanks to the new member, Scarlett, over at YouTube. Let's go! Acts if it isn't a big deal, even if it's a civil case. He's trying to minimize his actions responsibility by just creating a civil suit. Another red flag is him not taking responsibility of his actions. Yeah, that's what I'd say is always my biggest like hate with these, is that if you don't take any responsibility, like I can give you some like leeway on like maybe you can change if you take responsibility for your actions, but when you don't, you're just like, bro, you have no hope. Okay, here.
So essentially, the court decided that I'm a vibe rapist. Yeah, and my vibes were fucking terrible. So the thing that I learned is,
yeah, that's exactly what happened. I hate the way he says that. Like, I'm a vibe rapist. No, they didn't even find that he was a rapist. The thing they found in the civil case is that they would find that he would not stop his previous behavior without the order. That's literally all the civil case is. He's literally trying to make fun of it by making it sound like he was getting accused of being a rapist. So people be like, men get falsely accused of rape, and this is what happened to Tectone. But really, it's just he's getting accused of being a stalker more than anything. Like, bro. On my end, on the Twitch side, I assume it's it's broken, so I have to do it manually. So here it is. Thanks for the head pats.
Tectone, stop fucking tweeting. Because my vibes are fucking terrible. And I don't think I've ever been on Twitter and done something where I was like, you know what? I'm going to tweet something that's positively going to affect my life. But yeah, the vibes are fucking off. The vibes are off. All right, so I lost the vibe check. It's true. Next up.
I'm sure this stream and this video will help him a lot. Like, I'm sure this will really help with his vibe check. Why does he not look like himself here? Why does he look like he's photoshopped this? He looks like 10 kilos lighter. Anything you say and do will how to get you. Exactly. I feel like a lot of people have an idea that the things said on the internet can't be used against you, but they are all the time. Of talking and maybe essays. So he's being accused of rape, dude. Well, sexual assault. Sexual assault is like the one down from rape. Because that's when there's no penetrative or something like that. Yes, he was, but the thing is, what he was found of is that mainly the stalking, and that his behavior would not change without a protective order, because it's not their job to find out if he's a rapist 100%. It's if his behavior up to this point says that he will continue to harass her or be violent towards her and stuff like that, and they found that he was unlikely to stop his actions against her. So that's the thing. They don't have to find him 100% guilty, and that's why I say, like, their sexual assault stuff. We cannot prove it's true, etc. But all the other behavior he had was found enough that he would not change his ways and stop harassing the plaintiff. Pretty much. And that's why I feel he lost, definitely, is because they could not find anything proving that he would actually stop his behavior without the protective order. Dude's vibes are in the negatives. But different degree. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It depends where you are. I'm not going into the void. Hey! They're not. I see them. Just have been accusing him. Well, now, not the court, but Twitter has. Yeah, because he keep getting accusations, I guess. But I don't know much about them. I'm not sure of all the accusations of him being a creepy raper. But I would say that's why I'm focusing on him being a serial harasser, because I feel like there's a lot of evidence of him being a serial harasser. And why I keep saying, like, we can't say he's a sex offender or something without a doubt, because we don't know all the details of it. If it's true, horrendous. But we can definitely say that he's a kind of a stalker, and he's a harasser, and he can be violent at times, and definitely from what's been put out there, he's kind of dangerous, especially with his vast gun collection for a long time, which, even if he has innocent, makes it really hard to believe him. Exactly. That's the thing. I do think the only way you would fully find out is if they went to court. Have a strong hatred to Tectone. Yep, that's the thing.
People want to act like they're...
I do think, like, going to court would be good, but only if they have enough evidence of it, and that's the thing. You need to get all the women to agree. And no matter what people say, getting a conviction is actually very difficult in the court of law for, like, rape. It's very hard.
They're lawyers, these...
Yeah. I see. Okay, guys, and that's the, like, kind of where the Tectone situation is at the moment, pretty much. We're at this place where information is slowly coming out. People are saying their sides of the story with Tectone and stuff like that. And we'll just have to see how it goes. But a lot of VTubers are, like, getting dragged kind of into this, because he's friends with the VTube community, guys. So this is why I'm talking about it too, because a lot of VTubers, including Mugen, which, though he does other stuff, oh my god. Well, that was something to go onto the front page of Twitter. I see. Don't worry, she self-censored? I'm just seeing if any of the stuff. The thing is, most of those women lived with him, so interactions were likely in person, so not a lot of evidence. Exactly, that's the thing. That's why abuse at the home is very difficult to prove, unless, like, people have, like, cameras in the house, because it's really personal. It's very he said, she said kind of thing, no matter who's at fault. Like, I knew someone who was getting abused by his wife, and it was very difficult for him to prove it, because it was mainly them alone with each other. And that's kind of the problem with most domestic situations. Can I get this? Yeah, there we go. Where did you get those Devil May Cry sound effects? Oh, Opera GX has a Virgil theme. See, if you look close, this is Virgil's finger. And as you can technically have You Are the Storm as your background music, but I turned it off because I use this to stream. So yeah, it's why it's this pretty blue too. It's implicitly harassing Pink by using a whiteboard memes to address his allegations. Listen up, liberal. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh. Yeah, this is the power of Sparta. I just love the blue and the everything. It's like the perfect theme. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed. Oh, but you know, if you don't laugh, you cry. has been you, and then saying to collect evidence and not just getting as far away as possible. Yes, that is a big part of it. What is this one? Correct. Tectone's claimed that the case was suspended because they found nothing. Here she clearly says she suspended it because of harassment. So it's not because they didn't find anything. It's because she didn't do the pretext call because he was harassing her. Ugh.
Suspend it. What is the status of that? Because of the harassment, I had to suspend it. Okay, they wanted, what did...
There was already an 8-month police investigation on me. They found nothing. The case was suspended. I have no criminal charges. I was not convicted of any crime.
So, they found, it was an 8-month criminal investigation, they found nothing, and the case was suspended. So what actually happened? So let's look in the transcript. Followed a police report. This is from Pink's testimony. Because of the harassment, I had to suspend it. What is the status of that? Because of the harassment, I had to suspend it. Okay, they wanted, what did law enforcement want you to do with regards to a phone call to Mr. Robertson? Preliminary call. Okay, was it a pretext call? Yes. All right, what was your understanding of what you were supposed to do on that phone call? Call him and talk to him to get about the things he did to me. All right, and were you able to do so? No, because he was threatening me and harassing me publicly, and I was scared. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. But you did not follow along with what law enforcement wanted you to do. No, I did not. I did what was recommended to me by the counselor that was there with me. All right. So around the same time, did Mr. Robertson start posting what was it? Is it Twitter or is it X? I don't know. It was Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. He did it on all three. So, here she clearly says she suspended it because of...
So, the full transcript is out.
Harassment.
But I guess we don't know if it's 100%.
So that it's not because they didn't find anything. It's because she didn't do the...
Okay, I guess that's another part of it too. That wasn't out yesterday when I first looked at this, so this would already be a very long video. So if I wanted to, I might read the transcript to see if how prominent it is to look at it. But the main thing is the connect-ins with the VTubers I want to do, because fuck Tectone. Emmy okay. It was my first time meeting him in person. I had said something like, yeah, I felt schizo. In conversation, Tectone said, never say that. I actually have schizophrenia, and that word is like a slur. Then after thinking, calling my friend a faggot. I hate fucking people like this. That's like, you can say slurs, and then you say something that's slightly related to them, and they fucking have a cry. Yes, I didn't follow the law. You have to get in a call with the person. Some law enforcements do use that tactic to get evidence. It doesn't happen much in Oz, but yes. They can try and get you to re-talk to them to catch them in the act, yes. Some places use those tactics to try and get them to confess, pretty much. Like wiretaps. Which, what word did I say? Was I... I thought the whole damn point of justice against criminals is to either punish them to correct their behavior. Tectone's not gonna learn anything. That's the thing, I thought, well, I'm reading it. The F word. It's just a bundle of sticks, guys. Don't let a bundle of sticks scare you. Is it? The British cigarettes. Okay, yes, I'm sorry. What does he say?
It was very quick, it was very brief. And I guess, in case you guys don't know, when I was 19, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia in New Mexico State University. So
he does confirm he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Okay.
It was very quick. It was very brief. I went in with my dad. I kind of said, hey, sometimes I see
Hey, when I'm reading, I don't think about it. I'm sorry.
Things that aren't there. And they said, you're schizophrenic. They gave me medicine. I took those medicines and they made me a zombie. I went to a psychiatrist yesterday. And I'll try to provide some documentation of this at a later date whenever I receive it. Guys, I'm not schizophrenic. The psychiatrist believes the reason why I see things that aren't there, mainly, at night, is due to the fact that I got stabbed in my left eye, and my right eye is normal. And so they believe that my eyeballs are causing me to temporarily hallucinate things that aren't there because they're not signaling my brain properly. And what they believe that I have is anxiety with bad vision as well as unresolved childhood trauma. So I was going there.
I really doubt that's all he's got. I'm going to be honest.
Unironically, and I'm trying not to get emotional because I thought there actually might be something wrong with me.
But I never went to the doctor for like 10, 13 years. I was worried there's something wrong with me. Yeah, I have my doubts because I feel like it's very obvious he has some sort of like personality disorder, like just from the way he is. Like, it would diagnose you as a schizophrenic after one session. So, yeah, that's why I find it unlikely that he only went with one session to be diagnosed. It was your eyes. Yeah, how does a psychiatrist determine it was your eyes when you have to see a doctor for that?
And so I was going to actually try to get medicated. They said I do not require medication. So I guess I am just a human with anxiety, unresolved childhood trauma, and eyes that don't communicate too well to my brain.
And one of the things that looks like he has, I wouldn't say anxiety, because I've seen him be in public spaces completely fine. What anxiety does he mean? But plenty of people are sensitive with the trigger words. That's why I do apologize for reading it and not thinking about it at the time. Exactly. You're supposed to work with your physician and your psychiatrist. And obviously, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I would definitely lean towards he has some sort of personality disorder, but like anxiety can't stalk his ex anymore. Yeah. Because, see, just because of my personal belief is, like, if you're just reading something someone said, it's okay. But, for me, I still wouldn't say the N-word or something like that, because I am so white that can't fly. But I'm enough gay. I can say it. I'm kidding. I feel like I watch enough Yuri manga to get away with it. I'm kidding. Yet. I had to wear some serious gloves to pull her eyes together. God fucking damn it. Okay, this is the part, is talking about the legal mindset part, because I wanted to talk about it because he was getting a lot of backlash about it, and I didn't actually save much of it, apparently. Because there's a bunch of, like, the Rev issue in here, too. That's, like, mixed in. Mythic. Oh, this also started with Mythic actually dropping, like saying again, we actually dropped him ages ago, guys. Why didn't you remember that? Because I remember when they did drop him, but they just finalized it all, which a lot of people were pissed off about, but I'm gonna be honest, they were probably just waiting for his contract to run out, because it may be in his contract they can't. Okay, this is the Lawyer Legal Minds post on oh, here's Pink. This is about the pink part of it, which may be separate. I'll try and put it in there. This is the Lawyer Legal Minds post on unredacted leaked documents that were meant to be sealed live to thousands of people to dox me, putting my family in danger. This is the situation Pink had with Legal Mindset, because like day one, he like went over all the documents, even the sealed stuff, even stuff that was censored or whatever. Content creation for a while, came back and maybe strongest take. Oh. Still here? Yes, he's around being kind of like, I don't know. What's bigger than a mega racist? Like, a giga racist? I don't know. She's just always rage baiting. I don't really read anything of hers that come on my feed because she's always rage baiting. As future Secretary of State, I would approve the attractive female visa. We will call it the DD visa, of course. I will need to do regular in-depth reviews of the applicants to ensure the administration is probably doing its job. I'm gonna say, be honest, when I first read this, that's the creepiest fucking thing I've ever... may need a long PP for this one. Like, bro... guys, I changed my mind. The US should allow all attractive female Mexicans in. So, but I don't know where she used this screenshot, but he leaked pretty much all the information, didn't censor her name or anything on her streams, and from my response, I don't think the response I remember seeing of his, could be wrong, I can be wrong on this, he didn't give a shit, pretty much. he didn't seem to care that he gave out the personal information. And this is the Asmongold on Tectone, just to wrap this up. It's fine, but it sounds a bit rapey, I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's like, yeah, it's fine. I need to check up on all these hot women if they're gonna get in the country. Sounds creepy. It's like... Makes sense from a tax perspective. That's the thing. It's not a terrible idea, but like it just the way he worded it is kind of creepy. Yeah, it can be a throwaway joke and still creepy. That's just how words work. Something can be like, this is obviously a joke, but this was done and this is a creepy joke. You know? Okay, Asmongold on TikTok. I will comment on it and walk about it, but just based on what's in it, if it wasn't for that, I would have talked. I do have. Because if he would have stopped at the attractive visa, fine, but when he's just like, I need to personally meet all these hot women while I give them visas, that's the point where the joke went a little creepy. Okay, let's see what
disagree.
Asmongold says on this part.
Slicker, yeah, crazy slick, yeah. It's just there's so many people. I wasn't really close with them, right? But like, yeah, I just think.
Oh yeah, that's a previous drama about the guy who got caught with all these file names of like teen girls and stuff porn on his computer.
Streaming is just, it's so toxic, man. It's so fucking toxic. Tectone is a civil case. I don't want to, like, because I'm being, it's complicated. I will comment on it and I want to talk about it, but just based on a lawsuit that I'm in right now, I don't want to make any comments on it just for the sole reason of because of that lawsuit. If it wasn't for that, I would have talked about it a lot. I do have opinions on this, but I'm waiting for that to be finished. I apologize, but there it is. Sad the wrong people get put in such desirable positions. No, the fact is that what happened in the streaming community happens in real life constantly. It does. This is a very regular and very repeated thing that happens in real life all the time. Like, there's always people that get involved with, like, weird sexual stuff, or they get involved with weird, you know, like, other bullshit. Not as much. I actually disagree with you. I think that inside of, like, friend groups that I've been a part of, there have been a lot. Maybe all of my friends are just, you know, problem boys, right?
So that's the thing I find weird about this. He admits that they're a problem. Like, he's not saying that, oh, this didn't happen, stuff like that, but all my friends are problem boys. And I knew someone who always had this, like, their friends were always getting into trouble and stuff like that. And my advice is like, when your friends are constantly getting into trouble, the reason why this happens to you is because you permit them to still be your friends no matter what they do. And that's why you constantly have problems. It's like keeping friends that are always in drama, or, you know, getting in trouble with their boyfriends or something like that. It keeps happening to you because you keep them being your friend. Because you make excuses for their bad behavior. That's why it keeps happening. You know what I mean? Just don't know how to behave in general. I would definitely agree with that. And that's the thing. And that's why I feel like people, when it's like, oh, you should be friends with everyone. No, be selective with your friends, guys. Don't just be friends with any motherfucker. You know, if they're an asshole, just like, dude, you're an asshole. Walks away. You know, that kind of stuff. Saying they're into weird shit, but that isn't necessarily into trouble. I've had many of my friends, of those friends in the past. I don't know. I think it really depends, like, what he means by it, but also what's bad, what's in trouble, and what's weird shit. Because there's one thing of your friends going into a devil's three-way, and there's another thing of my friend tried to hit on a 16-year-old girl. You know, like, they're very different versions of weird, you know? Problem that you may have to look inwards at why you attract all these bad people around. I usually find, like, if someone is a good person and they have friends like that, they accidentally are a people pleaser. They want to make people happy and they want to see the good in people, but they end up getting, like, used. Because I have a friend who does do that a lot. She's, like, the loveliest ever. But she gets a lot of friends that are, like, can be assholes and take advantage of her kindness. And it's because she feels like she has to make people like her, and so she wants to treat people well. She does, but, like, when you treat bad people that will take advantage of it well, they end up just taking advantage of you. And it's really, obviously, in a perfect world, people wouldn't be like that. But in the real world, you have to, like, guard yourself a bit. You know what I mean? and choose who you treat well. His friends used to steal and go do various things that are commonly bad when he was in high school. Ah, okay. If my friend is some bullshit, I'm gonna stop them and be like, brother, are you doing the same? So I am that person that always calls out my friends on stuff. Even though people's like, you got a big mouth, Del. Like, why are you so aggressive? But as soon as I'm just like, someone's doing something bad, like, what the fuck are you doing, mate? Do you want me to beat you? I'll beat you. I'll beat your ass. They're like, there's no way you can physically beat my ass. I'll get a weapon. You know, like, I try and call them out because I feel like that's before they get into real trouble. Yeah, that's what I think of real friends do. Because when they go down a bad path, they're going to get into way more trouble. If your friend's like, I'm going to try meth, are you just going to let them try meth? You're going to be like, bro, I don't think you should do meth. Like, I don't think it's good for you. And it's kind of that mindset for me. It's like, don't let your friends do meth. It was the same, like, oh, okay. Weird side story, but I have a friend, and they were thinking of trying a drug, mushrooms. And I said, homie, this is not coming from I'm kind of anti-drugs unless they're medical, but because I think unless you have a prescription reason for it, most drugs are bad for you, etc., but not my life. But I was saying, homie, you are the least person I would say should do mushrooms, because he's so paranoid about things. He's stress incarnate, anxiety, and he gets paranoid easily. It's like, one of the effects is paranoia. You don't need more paranoia. Try something else. Why don't you try something else? It's like, please try something else. If you really want to try something else, for the love of God. And that's what a real homie does. It's like, I worry about you, brother. Okay, but yeah, that's kind of like the end of this part. I'll do an outro if I make it into a video there. But that's kind of the end part on that. Oh, I guess we should talk about, because Nuxtaku got brought into this.
Man.
He's friends with Tectone. Before we end it, stop it. Get some help. And my friend didn't try mushrooms. That is the end of my story. Nuxtaku talks about this situation too, and I forgot for a second that he's friends with Tectone, and I think from the sound of it, he's defending him still, but no one is surprised. Another person that went real weird the last couple of years, at the blunder, yes, muted. No, we have more stories. I'm just ending this segment of the story. We have more news.
You can check out Mizkif today? Probably not. There isn't enough for a video. Other than a obviously very butthurt man talking about a situation that we don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
But that's the thing. This Mizkif came out with it first. Now everyone else has come up with, so Mizkif wasn't lying. I know, shocker, because I don't like Mizkif really. He's kind of a asshole. But you know, broken clock twice a day kind of thing. We're doing okay. We're just doing the news drama rounds.
Court documents didn't come out yet. And I know for a fact some of the things he said was a lie so far. So, again, I'm waiting for the court documents to come out. I'm waiting. I know things. From what I've heard.
And this aged like milk.
It's really not at all how it's being portrayed, but I don't know. I've only heard from biased sources, so I'm very open about the idea.
I know things. I've only heard from biased people, though, but I know
that. I am waiting for the truth, or at least in a more objective analysis. Are you going to take
I feel like he counted himself in there, but whatever. Mix of his ironic extremely bullshit. Exactly. That's the thing. I feel like he was on purposely trying to get the information first, just to, you know the news cycle, so people stop talking about him and Emaru. Because he's really not any much, like, Tectone's a little worse than him, but he kind of is, like, focused on Emaru too. I don't think he's a nice dude either, from the sounds of it. But yes, so this ends the part about Tectone we were talking about, and we'll go on to our next story, which I guess will be, I guess we'll talk about the Revsaysdesu situation next, which, as you know, I don't usually talk about these people, Tectone or Rev, because Rev is kind of known for harassing people that disagree with him. It's kind of like a well-known, air quote, secret. It's not much of a secret, but it's why a lot of people ignore him, because you'll get put in a video of his and you'll get kind of harassed or anything like that. And especially if you're not a based anime person that likes every form of hentai, he'll just try and say you're an anti or some shit. And a lot of people don't want that noise. You know what I mean? Like, even if you have an opinion, we don't want that noise. So I don't usually cover his stuff. It's like, that's usually my go-to with it. Only cares about himself and brings himself into things that only related to him. Yeah, that's what I would say. Like, a lot of people was at least aware of him as like kind of a bulldog. Now, I'll talk about that too. Because my opinion won't be popular on that one. Among some people, I guess. But let me go in to find the Rev stuff. Here we go. Where is this? I'll do his statement first. Where is it? Oh no, I need the Lala stuff. Did I save it? Fuck my life. It's in here somewhere. One day I'll find it. One day over the rainbow. Fiasco with Nux. Oh my god, that's what I find so funny. Before he turned into like a, I'm gonna be honest, a right-wing grifter, because he didn't hold any of these beliefs until he got cancelled multiple times. So I don't know if he truly believed them and he just never mentioned them, but I feel like he's a great example where you can really see the pivot. Everyone was there, kind of thing. But he got like cancelled a couple times, still kept strong, but that everyone was making fun of him because of the Jaden animation things. He slows down with uploading and then comes back with that. Like, he's just like, now I'm a political reactionary and I say crazy shit, but it's okay because I'm a Jew or something crazy like that. Here we go. I found it. And everyone saw it, like, literally in real time. You know what I mean? Like, him go. And what I found crazy is everyone disliked Nux. I thought, it was like, I was air about it, but I did think the Jaden animation memes were funny. Fair. But, but like, literally everyone was making fun of him and saying they don't like Nux. And then he pivoted, and then all the people that disliked him was like, oh, I like Nux now because he agrees with me. And I'm like, bro, what? Yes. I was like, that's crazy. Like, people disliked him more when he was just saying we with Jaden animations than, you know, what he does now. Okay, so this has some opinions from people. So Miss Lala said fuck ice, like a lot of people are doing at the moment, because the nurse died and it's a big talking point and a lot of people are very mad at ice. And I think fair. Okay, I feel like you should criticize government workers if you don't think they're doing a good job. You know what I mean? That's fair. We all have opinions. Every time is how deaf noodles have relevancy. Oh my god. Hey, Ethereal. So I think that's fine. People are talking out, especially if things are not getting investigated. Because no matter what you believe, I feel like a situation like that should be investigated, right? So, yeah, especially like if people are getting hurt regularly. But then Rev says back, Revsaysdesu, as in Rev says, I love my wife. LARP says a 1950s VTuber hates current federal agency that is more tame than any law enforcement agency of the time period, included in her LARP. And as a lot of people point out, Miss Lala's statement is 1950s theme, not 1950s values or something, or vibes. 1950s vibes, but not values. And seeing Rev's biggest thing is fiction is not real. Fiction is not reality. I find this take incredibly hypocritical and stupid. I know some people's like, oh, he's within his stuff to say this, but I do think this is a stupid and hypocritical take. A hypocritical take. You know what I mean? Thanks to the head pads. In my opinion. And that's the thing. Lots of people love this aesthetic, and you can love aesthetics, time periods, history, and not want those values in real life. That's completely fair. Lots of us love Greek mythology. Lots of us love Romans. Lots of us love Vikings. Do we want all their laws in real life? Not really. You know what I mean? We can love the fictional or things that are not happening in the present and not want them to be really happening in real life. Like, the whole fiction isn't reality statement is all about that. Depending on the laws. But, that, like, I think, I do agree with history is, like, if you forget history, you are doomed to repeat it. So I think history is a good learning point, but that doesn't mean you imbued all their values, because let's be real, no matter what it is, we would cherry pick. No, next just sucks at researching stuff and has too much rushing to topics. Fair. I like to point out their flaws. Unfortunately, Rev fell into that trap, but so do many of his critics. Yeah, so. And she was getting some harassment, and everything was getting out of hand, and people were just talking about like things that are off topic, and like you can see how big this tweet was getting. So she locked it. And I don't know, people have their opinion. If you look a tweet, you lost, and the person who replied is right. I do not agree with that. I agree with the fact that you can block or lock or whatever you want on Twitter. It's an open platform. You can do anything you want for your privacy. Like, fair? Like, I don't think she has to engage in all this if she doesn't want to. But, yeah. That's the thing, you have to scroll down because the anti-IT stuff is more popular. See, stick to your lap, fuck Misslala VT. The deportations will continue, what the fuck are you doing about it? And fuck manga, oh wait, that's something else. Viewership is low, huh? Of course you're a retard, why am I not surprised? What a vapid and sophomoric virtual signal? Of course, Puerto Rican, not actual patriots. You retards only appeal to your base. Go fuck yourself. Well, yeah, well, fuck you too. You're going back. You would be clever not to speak, but I guess serving Twitch staff both in real life and online is quite a delight and God work. So he's saying she sucks dicks for viewers. Also, everybody point and laugh at unsucceeded Nepo plant that is going to tell how important conversion is. Can we not? Common a la W, that one's fine. Another one. Yeah, you kind of would really want to fuck with an ice guy because leftist guy is only good for pegging and it's not really satisfying for women. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I thought I'd have to scroll longer to find people kind of being assholes to her. But, and I don't know her DMs, because a lot of people don't share the DMs because they think it's going to make it, retard alert, make her more, you know, people should harass her more. Nah, fuck liberals. Stay in your lane. People watch people like you to ignore it. Don't inject yourself into shit you don't belong. Stick to entertainment, not soapbox politics. Fuck them VTubers. They're the same, exploiting desperate men for money, like all whores and OnlyFans and various campsites. Sorry, I would say there's definitely enough stuff that she was being harassed and it was getting pretty bad, racist, and whatnot. The thing is, I mean, it can be annoying to keep getting notifications on a tweet. That is true too. Yeah, I don't know why people, when Rev does something, they reach out to his wife. I don't think her opinions are much better, but she did not say this, so I don't think she should be involved. But people's opinion on that vary. Like Romans, without living ancient hygiene, just you can like someone's aesthetics without agreeing with their politics. Exactly. Chacha is also Puerto Rican. She doesn't count as an American now. That is the thing. They say stick to your lane, but she is, like, Puerto Rican, so some people would say it involves her. So, but is it? I'm not sure with all American territories, and someone's going to be like, Del, why you talk about America stuff when you don't know American? How dare you? Hey, Roxas, welcome in. But okay, so as we just saw, she was getting a lot of harassment, and people were just being racist to her, saying she was a whore and like sleeping with people and whatever else, and you know she should get R'd. But then she replies, if you want to have a conversation about my action, then come to me and let's have a conversation. My post wasn't directed towards you, and I don't know what I have personally done to you to warrant a targeted reaction about me to your community, to the point that I'm receiving slurs from community members. And Scene 4:32. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you. You're a man of faith, correct? You don't have to like my opinions, Rev, but you also don't have to antagonize your community against me. So that's the thing. I don't really like quoting back scripture, but a lot of other Christians go in because he says something to reply that's a bit nasty. It's pretty much like if you don't agree with your government under the God, you're bad or something. I don't know what the quote was, but it was pretty much that as a Christian you should obey your government or something. It was an odd quote. And then a bunch of Christians came back on how that quote is counted a lot. And I feel like a lot of people would disagree with that quote, that you have to obey your government to be a good Christian. Like, that's fucking weird. Bit odd, okay? And a bunch of others made him lost his sponsorship. Well, I'm not at that point. I don't think Rev is in the right here. Like, he started a fight with her. He kept going at her, and he replied to her multiple times after she said she's willing to talk to him civilly about it. So, I would say Rev's in the wrong on that side of things. Yeah, I'm not sure on that quote. So, if any Christians want to show me, all those it was like the full thing on it. Let me find it. Does he have his reply in here? Okay, your conversation was saying fuck ICE, and now you're trying to weaponize my faith against me poorly. He's actually, no, her statement was fuck ICE. She said you can have a conversation with her. So, that's not the same thing. She offered a conversation after her statement. Let everyone be subject to the government authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted, and those who do so will bring judgment on themselves. So, I don't really get what point is he trying to say. Are you supposed to just follow the government, and if you are not following your government, you are going against God? I don't understand what point he's trying to make with the quote. I think Christians should be a lot more government critical. Yeah. Okay. Public post and people disagreed with you. You tell people to have a conversation, but you immediately lock your replies. She meant them have a conversation, not her get a bunch of replies. And I think she's within her right to lock her replies. That's fair. Pointing out her hypocrisy isn't unkind. Hypocrisy. How is this pointing out hypocrisy unkind? He pointed out a hypocrisy with a hypocrisy on himself. He says fiction isn't real, and then says to her she's a hypocrite because she's portraying a fiction and she's not making it real, and so she's a hypocrite for that. That doesn't make any sense. The crux of this is he's wrong and he's a hypocrite. Like, that's the thing. This is why I can't stand with Rev. It's because in the crux of his statement is hypocritical and dumb. Thanks for the follow, Cat Gonna Stream. Welcome to the Delinquents. Because he literally goes against his own beliefs with this statement. Like, the crux of his replies, being critical of her, is incorrect. And also makes him a giant hypocrite. And then he accuses her of hypocrisy, which is odd, seeing fiction isn't real. She doesn't have to embody her LARP, her VTuber character. That is an odd take. She's pissed no one's invites to have this conversation. But that's the thing. Yes, when you fight online, it can elevate. That's the thing. I don't understand why people don't get. They don't think there is any response to fighting online. But if you keep a fight going, casualties happen that you're not going to predict. Like, she offered to have a conversation with him civilly, and then he just kept going at her. Like, that is the problem here too, is a lot of people get into fights online thinking nothing's going to happen. And it's just like, bro, that's not how that works. Surely not. How much the right turned healed and now love big government when it's under Trump, but think the Department of Education should be destroyed. I find the flip-floppy on this in general is very odd. A lot of people are anti-government, but they're pro-government when it's good for them, and I find on both sides, honestly, and I find that very weird. Like, like, obviously Rev here is pro-government, and I just find that it's odd. But we want Trump to do more. We really don't like what he has done so far. So you want more government. Or do you only want more government as Trump is running the government? I really don't understand that, because I thought you're anti-government. That's impossible, though. You can't have more actions from your government with less government. That is, that's something that can't coexist. That's my point. Like, it doesn't work. If you want your government to do more, they need to have more power, which means there's more government. But if you want them to have less government, they need to have less power. You see, it doesn't really work. I don't know. Have a disagreement on Twitter is not worth uninvolved people trying to struggle session a sponsor into dropping a creator. If we play the logic of Red sent his community to say mean words and Lala's replies, which he didn't do, then Lala sent her community to finally see ruin Rev by threatening his sponsor. The thing is, Lala has not been in a drama before, so I'll give her that, but Rev does this all the time. He picks fights on Twitter and he makes videos out of them, so I would say he does kind of bring his community into it, and it has happened a lot, and he is very aware what will happen. And I do say going after someone's sponsor is not the way to do it. Like, if the sponsor wants to drop him, that's fair. But I don't think a sponsor should be pressured to drop them. It should be up to them and their TOS or their personal morals as a company if they keep someone. That is my opinion on that. I'm really not... What do you mean upset about what he's done? I feel people should be upset at the way Rev runs his stuff. Because he's kind of an asshole about it. Yeah. No, I just haven't gotten to that point. I'm reading through it, but I haven't gotten to the point of the sponsor drops, okay? So we're going to get into it. I'm just adding this in because people are talking about the sponsor drops, because this comes into... This argument went so far that other VTubers started saying his sponsor should be dropped, and he did lose his sponsor after AdvancedGG did an investigation into if they would drop him or not, and they did drop him. And honestly, AdvancedGG can have anyone they want as a sponsor or not a sponsor, but I do think people pushing for a sponsor to drop over a disagreement, it just doesn't feel like actually it takes away from the argument, in my opinion. You know? About it, and he points out real research and our vibes base, which is why I don't like him personally. Same, I don't think he also leaves out large parts of information to fit the vibe he has checked. Because that was one thing, a lot of things that I watched a few of his videos that really turned off my videos back at watching his videos for information back in the day, is he would leave out large chunks of information. And it actually is what pointed me towards making videos, is I was getting really peeved off about certain creators and commentary just leaving out information to fetch, to like point it towards the outcome they wanted with the video. And I found that incredibly annoying. And personally, if you have a problem with what Lala did, you should have a proper problem with what Rev did. And my thing is, if you don't have a problem with what Rev did, but a problem with what Lala did, I think it's an inherent bias towards someone with your own narrative, because by the thing here that they both use their communities against each other would be the thing here. Personally, I think Rev came in shooting guns while Lala was just talking. So I would say he antagonized the situation. Did it get really out of hand? Yes. Well, that's the thing, but who started the fight? Rev. So it's like saying starting a fight, continuing a fight, and then saying, oh, well, now I've lost something. You're the bad guy. See, you can't just look at the outcome. You have to look on how they got there. You can't start a fight and then go, they got meaner than I was being. Boo. That's why I would say. And it wasn't even Lala, it was other VTubers calling for it. So you can't say Lala was in the wrong for an argument. Fuck whatever thing that left likes, don't think it would start a fight. That the point is, you can't start a fight and then go cry, I started this fight, but I got hurt. Like, dude, you started the fight. So that's the point. You have the ability to not engage with people. We say this all the time. Rev did not have to comment on it. There was tons of VTubers saying fuck eyes. I wasn't the biggest fan of Lala. I didn't dislike her, but her content was not exactly my cup of tea. Yeah, I don't really watch Lala, but my thing is she's never really in drama. Yeah, I don't think he was being reasonable, and I don't think he was being reasonable in his critique. Instead of going, I disagree with you saying fuck eyes, he's trying to bring up something completely unrelated that made a hypocrite of himself, and then he tried to continue on the fight, and then other VTubers got pissed off, and they called for his sponsor to be removed. I don't think other VTubers being mad at his behavior is Lala's fault. So I would say the VTubers calling for his sponsor to be missed out was missing the point of the disagreement, and I think it's up to the sponsor themselves. I don't think they should be pressured to drop people. Do I think Rev's antagonistic behavior makes this keep happening to him? Yes. I do. Like, I do think he kind of brings a lot of these situations on himself by always picking fights with people and not being, you know, able to have a calm conversation. He's antagonistic. Someone called him a bulldog, and that's exactly how to describe it. He goes in like a bull in a china shop and then is surprised that things are broken. And that is my thing with it. That's why I can't be sympathetic with him for losing his sponsor per se, because yes, them bringing attention to it is why he lost it, but technically, the things he do could lose him sponsorships all the time. It's just they don't see it. And that's my thing, why I can't be fully sympathetic for Rev's thing, because he started the argument, he continued the argument, he was kind of wrong in the argument, and then it was because it was brought to the attention of the sponsor that he was dropped. Because technically, you're not supposed to harass people, and you're not, and it wasn't even just hit Lala that got him, because I have other things saved in here. This is not Rev's first rodeo of harassing people. This is what really nailed his coffin, honestly, is not why it just happened. He has harassed a lot of people before, and that's it. And I've saved someone who is a prime example of the damage his stuff can do. And I think that is part of the problem. Where is hers? I have it saved up here. So I can't be sympathetic to him because I do believe he does break some sponsors' TOS. But do I think people should rally to get him taken off? No, because it doesn't really solve the disagreement or the behavior. Where is it? I saved it somewhere in here. She was talking about it. Oh, here's one, but sheep's right above it. These are two I saved. Two as examples. Let me read your reply. So here's what I think. Do I think it went too far? Sure, I can see that. But again, Rev is somewhat responsible for his own sponsor pulling out. It's like a job. Your behavior affects the opportunities you get on a fall-off clock. After those engagement, he could have just shut the hell up and log off, but he kept going, building the pressure against himself, which the sponsor does react to public pressure, and he thought the hammer down further on himself by doing it. Yes, I do agree with that. Late will lose, the buck. What? Of her old, it's a lesson he need, wait, it keeps moving, one sec. Lala will lost a lot of her old audience too. She's made zero political statement until now, saying fuck ICE is political, and even someone says it's not. That's the thing, and some people are just turned off of political statements, and that's fair too. Some people just don't want to see politics, and that's fine. It's a lesson that needed to learn, though don't think he really learned, unfortunately. And I think that's the thing here. We have to realize that our actions can have consequences depending on it, and we should use it even if you're not 100% in the wrong to reflect on that. You know what I mean? It's a shit flinging fit that no one can come out of smelling nice. Exactly. That is a great thing. This was a shit flinging situation, and if you continue to fling shit, things are going to get worse. It also validates the pattern of going after sponsors. I really don't like that. Affects everyone. That is the thing. Definitely Rev also would fix nothing. It would just strengthen his beliefs, so they're trying to silence me to them. Exactly. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Find it because that these people will say that about him and doing this and then lose their sponsorship, but then complain about when they get fired for celebrating the person's staff? Huh? They refuse to take refuse to take a stance, so it feels like a damned if you do, damned if you don't right now. Exactly. Okay, I hear you, counterpoint. Yeah, but that's the thing. They got fired for a personal take on celebrating someone's death. So that's the thing. Would you say they shouldn't have gotten fired then? If Rev shouldn't lose a sponsor, should the person not got fired for celebrating the death of that guy? If your thing is they shouldn't lose work over their personal stances. But let me go over this one. We'll get into this. Never harassed anyone. These are one of the people that Rev has made a video on. Rev never harassed anyone. I've never let go of the fact that because of this video, I received countless death and job threats in my DM and say how his little minions decided to say that all you have to do is have a conversation with him and watch him deny it. So, and that's the thing. Apparently, a lot of people request conversations with Rev about things, and he never replies. I'll be the racist these anime fans want me to be. Voice actors go full mask off. So, yeah, he does a lot of things against voice actors, making this, twisting my words for clout, exposing my face, my Twitter handle, my existence with no permission, encouraging the harassment is still such. Compare it to Charles Manson having a cult followers. Not doing the action, but being the catalyst and instigator. This will be the final time I speak on him and this subject, because now that I'm seeing I can't say that word right now. I feel very appeased. Not a perfect sweep outcome, but I'm glad for it in some fashion. I'm gonna mute this preemptively and go back to some joy for my life. What's public information already? At people often, this is from Bo Sheep. I don't swear at people often, but when I do, you can bet your butt they deserved it. Okay, this is actually a really fucked up situation, and this also made me dislike Rev's actions with the videos. I don't think all of Rev's stuff is public information, but this is also and I don't think even if something's public information, like you can find it on a registry. Like technically you can find most people's registration of their houses publicly. Like the registration on you owning your house, Roxas, is public. Should I share it? No. You know? Like it's kind of that mindset too. Like we have to think about that. Oh, you mean is it public on Twitter? I don't think so. Like they wouldn't have their address and their real name on Twitter, so. But this is about Bo Sheep, and this is a fucked up one. He did a video about her suicidal teenager because she was like talking over COVID about it, and he did a video on it for some fucking reason, and she got so much harassment, and her kids got harassment over it. And I do not understand the thought process of why he would do this. You're complaining about being harassed in 2023. I opened up to my community about parenting a child suffering from depression, self-harm. You made a video about it, accused me of exploitation while you yourself profited. And when I reached out, you ignored me. Fuck you. Take your video down, please. I admit I have not watched it, but I got a bunch of people warning me about it, and obviously because it involves my child, that leaves me concerned. Furthermore, I'm told the comments in the video are particularly upsetting. While I was advised my kid to stay away from it, reading 300 plus comments tearing your mum apart could be potentially damaging if she were to come across it in the comment section. Sorry, I'm just trying to handle this calmly and politely, and he never replied. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's public. Like, she's talking about a child publicly. Why does a big creator need to focus on a smaller VTuber who's talking about their child who self-harms and then try and antagonize people against them saying they're a bad mother and that they're profiting off their kid's mental illness or something? It doesn't matter if it's public or not. Morally, that is not that is wrong to do, in my opinion. Like, it's like going to someone's public Facebook page and saying, oh, they talked about their child publicly. Let me, like, rag on their entire bloodline. Like, in my opinion, these are not news. This is not drama. These are not things. This feels like he had a slow news day and had to make fun of something. It's just like, what was the point of these kind of videos, in my opinion? I don't really get it. But that's the thing, he put her full name on that other person. So yes, some of their tweets are public, but their information isn't public, like their name, their their address, stuff like that. And that's my problem here, is he makes videos and doesn't really care about the repercussions. So Drama Day hits hard. Oh, you mean Bo Sheep? Oh, maybe? Huh? Oh, do you mean Rev blocked out her name? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I've never seen him block out someone's name. Like, I've never seen him ever block out someone's name in a video, so... on the ones I've seen, so I can't say to that. But either way, I don't think it's not video worthy. Yeah, it could be fake as well, but I don't think that's a reason to put someone on blast. Well, it could be fake. Okay. To be kind of had this coming if this is what he does. That's the thing. He kind of like, he used to have a whole series about ratioing people. Like his whole, like he used to have a video every like 2 days about ratioing people. Like he would just find a random thing and like rag on it. So that's the thing. This is not the first time he's kind of gotten in trouble for harassment, and it probably won't be the last time. And that's the thing. I do think he needs to think about on how he uses his community and how he uses videos, and they do have repercussions. I do not have a bias to believe all that. I see the situations. I don't read the hate comments he gets. I read the information of what he's done. That is the thing. If you can see all he can done and go, well, Rev did nothing wrong, that's a bias. Me reading all the things he's done and going, well, he's kind of a dick and he should really just stop doing these things. And if he keeps doing them, he's going to get in trouble at some point. That's not a bias. And that is the thing. I think people, when they hear someone disagree with them, they automatically, oh, well, they're biased against me. And I don't think that's how that works. Bias means I'm biasly against Rev, but it's just, I don't think his videos are informative. I don't think his videos are usually a bit biased towards the point he's making. So I don't like that. But I also see that he harasses people all the time. Going to dig up every little thing he has done for a reason for him to get any income. That's cancelled culture. Cancel culture. You losing a sponsor is not cancel culture. If they choose to drop you, that is up to them. But it's like saying it's a show of consistent pattern. So no matter what anyone does, are you saying there should be no repercussions for their behavior? No matter what they do. That is the thing, because if everything is cancel culture and cancel culture bad, people should not get repercussions for their actions. Because I can agree calling for Advanced GG to do it is a bit much, but that doesn't absolve him of anything he's done. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make him right. That's what I'd say. I would say against the people calling, like this Vex person, to drop his sponsor is cancel culture. Advanced GG dropping him because of his behavior, not cancel culture. Yeah, that's the thing. It's too much, and I think this Vex person did way too much on it. And I don't think it was needed, and it just exasperated the conversation. And it missed the point that the problem is about harassment. Kind of thing. Like, the whole point is that Rev should, stop this kind of behavior, like just lashing out randomly and stuff like that. And that's the part this is the part I agree with went too far. Do I think Rev should be held accountable for his behaviors and how he handles his news drama reporting, whatever? Yes, I do believe that. I do think he was in the wrong there, but I do think it should be resolved in a conversation and back and forwards and let die out naturally. I don't think it needed all this. Like, I really hate to do this, but the pen. Wait a minute, where is it? Bumping. Someone was saying she was grifting or something. That's not the one I want, but yeah. And one of the bigger people that was saying, like, that he should lose his sponsor, and that's the part we're up to. Advanced GG has removed their sponsor from Rev and Straub. I don't know how. I was like I don't agree. Like, I'm not saying Straub never does anything wrong, but she wasn't involved in this at fucking all, and I don't know how. I know they do a lot of things together, but I find it odd that they always pull in his wife. And yeah, people's like, oh, they're a spouse, blah, blah, blah. But technically, she was not involved. Not even on a technicality. She wasn't involved in any of this. I don't know how it always happens like this. On it, it should have died out in a week, but they constantly went after his sponsor. That's the thing. I do agree with that part. I do think the conversation ended up going nowhere, even less because of it, and it should have died out naturally, and people just kept it going. Yeah, that's the thing. I disagree with this. No matter if they're married or not, I disagree. It's her actions should reflect on her Advanced GG sponsor. But the thing is, we could say, oh, she was investigated, and she may say some things that they don't agree with, blah, blah, blah. But still, it's really annoying that that happens. Why, and this goes into the kind of people that were like this Vex person. I don't know anything about her. I'll block you if you defend Rev or Straub, you absolutely fucking bootlicking widows. Fuck Ice and absolutely fuck you. Anyway, I'm muting this now because I'm not putting up with your widows defending someone who wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. I can enjoy who I work for and not like who I work with. Demanding something be done and then not allowing the time for it to, you know, get done is insane to me. Fuck Ice, fuck Rev, fuck you. And if you defend, she did apologize for these statements. I did see this later, but I do think the calling for sponsors to remove someone, it's like because of a disagreement in the argument, is kind of annoying, and I would say that is in cancel culture. But I don't think trying to hold someone accountable for their behavior is. But that's why I do think if she's going to harass people too, then people should talk to her about her behavior as well. And asking for, like, Rev here is asking for her Advanced GG to be taken away. I understand they're angry, but that is also cancel culture. So they now want cancel culture to happen to other people because it happened to them. And I understand being angry about it, but if you are actually against it, I don't think you should promote it as a punishment. Honestly, like, but I do think she should be held accountable to for that. She was inciting this to go further than it should have. For Fauna, she said, I'm a racist towards white people because I am white, because white is not a race. Technically, white is kind of not a race. It's a skin tone. But you can be racist to anyone if you try hard enough. That's what I believe. But yeah, technically white is... There's lots of different races in being white, you know? You know, and we all have different kind of, like, Finnish people are genetically different parts than other white people, you know? Like, yes, we're all mixed together as, like, Mongols and stuff, but you don't have to be a certain race to be white. You know what I mean? Albinos are real. Like, white is white. Like, white is technically a skin code. Like, technically black isn't a race, per se. Like, yes, it's an identifier of lots of races, but there's lots of different kinds of races that are black, you know, kind of mean? Jews, you can't be racist against Jews. Yes, you can, actually. Like I said, you can be racist to anyone. I think you can be racist to anyone of any race. It's a construct created to the... That's the thing. I'm just saying, like, I would say white people are a group, so you could be racist to a group of people, just like you could be homophobic or sexist. And that's the thing, you can be racist against a group of black people, but technically there is lots of races that make up black people, you know what I mean? But the idea that things are all under one umbrella. That's the thing, it's an umbrella term. Descent. Yeah, which is a very blanket statement of itself, because a lot of, like, people that are white aren't in Europe too. Huh? The actual definition of racist, not just power. What these people left to. Yeah, that's symptomatic racism, which is a different kind of racism. It doesn't mean you can't be racist to people. It's just symptomatic racism is built on that you are racist towards someone because you have power over them, or used to have power over them. It's just a kind of racism. It's a different flavor, but it's not the only form of racism. Because even if you're in a minority, you can be racist to other people. Like, Asians are racist to other Asians. Like, Japanese people hate Chinese people. Chinese people hate Japanese people on a racist level. Like, but there's too many people who don't share your worldview. I'm a fascist towards Formula One. I hate that race. To anyone else, second, how did we get here? We got here because apparently Vex says, and a few people say this online too, that you can't be racist to white people. And, like, jokes aside, I believe you can be racist to anyone. People think you can't be racist towards white people because they have power. That's the thing, I guess you can't do symptomatic racism to some white people. Because technically, people were systematically, I can't say that word today, against Irish people, and they are white. So, you can't be systematically racist to all white people, I guess. But it's like stringing hairs, because there's like lots of different ways you can be racist. Yeah, that's the thing. I would say they like the trigger word. Exactly, you can be racist towards yourself technically too. Like, you ever heard of a self-hating Mexican? Like, that is like, there's self-hating people of their own race all the time. So that's the thing, yeah. But yeah, that's why I would say people should be pulled up on this. Should they lose sponsors? I don't know. But should I think a hate mod push for them to lose sponsors? Nah. Like, I feel like that's up to the company. But I don't think it's cancel culture if a company doesn't want you to represent them anymore. But I don't think it's a win in any way if they cower to pressure to get rid of someone for a sponsor. It just means they cave to pressure for it. So it doesn't actually mean they agree with anyone or they took a stance, in my opinion. They literally could have just got annoyed with the whole conversation and getting dragged into it. Oh, thanks for the head pat, Jay. But yeah, so that's where it's going. Straub also makes a statement on losing her sponsor here, and a lot of people go, oh, I'm boycotting Advanced GG because they've done this, kind of thing. That comes up through here. Is this Straub's one? No, that's more Vex stuff. Where is it? I saved it somewhere. Here we go. Hey, Cook. To press it, then it becomes a race to see who we make the sponsor drop. That's the problem. Yeah, exactly. Both mine and Rev's contract with NSG has been terminated. This whole thing was honestly very confusing and stressful, but I won't be going into details. Very disappointed to see this be their final decision. I wish them the best, despite them hurting me the way they have. And that's the thing. I don't think people should do hate mobs towards losing sponsors. I don't think that's the way to resolve things. And the thing is, there's always going to be someone who will sponsor them. It doesn't really prove anything. And I don't think sponsors are the way to incite change, because it doesn't actually make people change. I think both were stupid to fight, but now since Vinci dropped Rev, they have they got someone else that this hate mob does not like. They will expect them to be dropped too. Yeah, but I don't think we should put that at Lala's feet, because she didn't start this fight, and she's not the one encouraging them to do it. It was other VTubers doing it. That's the thing, when multiple different content creators come together to do this, you can't just go, well, the first content creator is at fault for everyone's actions there. But I'm not saying it, but I'm saying my opinion on it. That's the point of it, is me saying my opinion and rounding up what happened. See, remember, I'm talking to everyone, and I'm talking potentially for a video, not just to Roxas. I feel like I have to say here. And that's what I will take away from this. This situation got, let me finish my thought too. This situation got way out of hand. It didn't have to go this route, and should have been resolved between two of them. Do I think Rev should have had a conversation actually with Lala? Yes. Should he had a conversation with the other people that had problems with his videos? Yes. I do believe that. Did he start the fight? Yes. Could it be resolved and forgotten about within a week if it didn't blow up in this way? Yes. And were they in the wrong for being assholes about it and pushing for him to be dropped as a sponsor because of this disagreement? Yeah, they were assholes for doing that, and I don't think that was the right call to action at all. And I do think some people were being like kind of racist in the situation of like, I don't think it was just Lila. There was another person too who was being racist as fuck about it. And I don't think you can, I don't like the fight fire with fire approach. If you think someone is being racist, you cannot be racist back to solve the problem. That is not how that works. Like, you were just creating a bigger problem. I'm always a big fan of peaceful protest, and that is the way to actually get points across, is through conversation and through, through peaceful means. Yeah, that was my point. I was summarizing the situation, pretty much. Because I'm hoping I will make this into a video, so I'm trying to summarize at the end where it was going. Eye for an eye makes the world go blind. Exactly. And that's the thing. I feel like as long you as a creator cannot make people stop watching someone. That is a choice they have to make themselves. And if someone's an asshole enough, it is a choice they will make themselves. And yes, you can disagree with someone, but realistically, it is up to a viewer who they watch. I don't think you can bully them into doing it. So put the information out there, and that is why I try not to put too much of my opinion out there in with these if I can, is that put the information out there and people will make decisions based on that information, and that's all you can really do. I don't think hate mobbing is the choice here or like the right choice at all. It's really just give them the information, talk about it in a reasonable way, and be honest. Like if someone gives false information, give the correct answer back. Exposed to stupidity. That's all you can really do. But oh my god. And that's my point of view with it. And I do think this was a pretty mild conversation to go so out of hand. Like, realistically. But I do think tensions are high with the ICE discussion. Because a lot of people are taking it, like, very personally. And some people take it, like, politically. And as we know, that makes people very sensitive. Tell you are so what? Thank you. My brain is in my ears. That's how big it is. But yeah, so I do think this is really probably more of an effect of how high the tensions are than either one of what the creators did themselves. Even with the stuff I said before, I do think the tension was so high because of the situation. You need to learn to agree to... Yeah, exactly. Agree to disagree. It's okay to agree to disagree. The other part of this is that I think paints Rev in a bad light is that he had an off-ramp. He could have just had a conversation, not drawn things out. Yeah, I do think they had an out. That's the thing. This did have an out, and that's what I keep saying this. The conversation had an end of where it could have, like, not have been like this, and it just wasn't taken. And that's the thing. And this is, like, a lesson I feel to learn from this is you don't know... Oh, damn car. You don't know where a conversation's gonna go realistically on the internet because someone can chime in, a bigger creator can quote in it, and it can really change what's happening. 1 second you're talking to yourself, and the next minute you've got a fucking hate mod at your door because the wrong person talked into it. And that is something to really think about, is that with your actions on the internet. It's not as straightforward as you think it's going to be. And we can't assume either creator thought it was going to go this way. The majority voted for ICE. Well, that doesn't... The majority voted for ICE. Does that mean everything ICE did is gospel? You can't complain about your government. You can't complain about their actions. Not true. That's unconstitutional. And that's anti-free speech kind of thing. Like, I don't think... You can criticize your government. You can criticize their action. That's part of it. So I don't think that's enough of a reason, honestly. It's like the majority voted for it is not good enough for me. I feel like the moment you stop criticizing your government, the moment they start fucking you. Always expect more and better. Yeah, but I don't think when they say they don't do enough, I don't think they mean killing male nurses. So, like, I think they mean, like, doing their job. They don't do enough of doing their job. And that's the thing. People aren't all mad because they're not doing their job. They're mad because they're doing it violently and untrained. Just because someone voted for something doesn't, yeah. Do their damn job minus the chaos. Exactly. And that's the thing. And that's why I say I don't just... It's different. Like, Oh, do you mean Rev should have just said the majority voted for this? I still think it makes him wrong. Like, incorrect. Like, and that's the thing. Going and harassing you? Well, that's part of the job. Like, police get harassed every day. Like, ICE realistically is close to, like, police work. And you get harassed. You should be trained to deal with that. That's literally kind of how it is. Because that's why the police get trained to deal with that kind of stuff, because certain jobs are more dangerous than others. For I'm more angry at how they are doing the job, not that they are doing it. The ends do not justify the means. Yeah. And that's fair. That's why I can understand why the tensions are high. Exactly. That's another gripe people have. They are not being trained correctly, which makes it difficult for them to do their job. And people, that's another point of it. A good point Roxas did bring up. The news channels making it even worse by only showing the tragedies, not actual successfully done or people doing their job. And that's a whole problem, especially even with YouTube, is people only horror bait, where it's just literally only bad things. Outrage bait, that's the word I'm looking for. And the news does the same thing. They don't give you the news, they just give you the outrage. And that is another thing that's making this situation very tense, is that they're not showing the people doing their jobs correctly. They are only showing people doing the jobs incorrectly. But yeah. But yes, I do think they do have fair gripes with it, and that's fair. Okay, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I do think until it's done properly, it's fine to have critiques and be mad. Okay, guys, I'm gonna finish here because I have to go have dinner, and I could only do a short stream today. This took longer than I thought, but I'll be back on tomorrow. We'll probably be doing some more Fallout and some other stuff, but I'll see what I'm doing tomorrow, because we only got through half the stories. We didn't even get to the powder ones. Damn. But I don't know what time it'll be. Either be up this time or it will be at the European time. This seems to be my 2 times I'm the freest. Yeah, I wanted to go for longer today, but because I started a bit later, this is all we have. Their own good news on both sides. Yes, I agree. They're both biased, and they both leave out positives and negatives of things. It's horrendous. It's why you have to do your own research, because sadly, a lot of platforms online have gone the same way. But I do have to go, guys, and have dinner. I'll talk to you later. I'll be on tomorrow for another stream. We might do a bit more news or react before and go into most likely Fallout. Just because I'm really feeling playing it again. Oh, who is online? McCann's online. Ooh, she's playing Minecraft. I haven't raided in McCann in ages. And then there's Cleo playing Arknights. Why are so many people playing Arknights Enfield? That's crazy. So many people have been talking about that to me. Yep. Okay, I was getting told it's dinner. I'll do McCann. Okay, guys. See you next time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Minecraft! I love Minecraft. It just came out, so lots of eyes. True. Later, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll do some Fallout and some other stuff. Bye-bye. End of Field is golden. I'll have to look at some gameplay for it. Okay? I'll have a look, because everyone keeps bringing it up to me. Okay, bye, guys. I'll see you later. We're going to raid into McCann, who is Minecrafting at the moment.